Meteoric rise in autism is among the most alarming public health developments in history.
Not really. People with autism are pretty chill.
Tylenol during pregnancy can be associated with a risk of autism. Not good.
I'll say it's not good unless you have a headache or you're in pain or you take a baby aspirin because you have a heart problem. But apparently you should not take it, I guess, because Trump said so.
The FDA will issue a physician's notice about the risk of acetaminophen, prescribing the lowest effective dose for the shortest necessary duration.
90% of what they're saying we already do. You should only take Tylenol short bursts. That's how we already do Tylenol.
40 to 70% of mothers who have children with autism believe that their child was injured by a vaccine.
I don't care what people think. I care what the data says. I'm pretty convinced at this point that Trump is just rage baiting for attention. And we all sit here and we get distracted from the real problem. And that's that Donald Trump was best friends with Jeffrey Epstein for 15 years. All right, man. Let's watch Trump announcing his announcement about autism. Maybe he'll tell us something. Maybe he'll say he has it. I don't know. Maybe he's an autistic king. I don't know. Let's go. Let's see what we got here from Buddy Boy. I'm excited, guys. Wouldn't it be funny if he spouts a bunch of misinformation and then YouTube gives me a violation for misinformation, even though I will highly contest the misinformation that's put out there? Wouldn't that be funny, guys? Isn't misinformation funny? Here he is, our God Emperor, Donald Trump.
Thank you very much.
No problem, boss.
So I've been waiting for this meeting for 20 years, actually.
Wow, that's a long time. Maybe you should have scheduled it better.
And it's not that everything's 100% understood or known, but I think we've made a lot of strides.
That's fantastic.
Wish it was done a long time ago. Today, we're delighted to be joined by America's top medical and public health professionals as we announce historic steps to confront
Dr. Oz. Dr. Oz and RFK, our top minds, guys.
The crisis of autism. Horrible, horrible crisis.
Is it, though? Are we really having that much of a fucking crisis with autism? Like, it's really not that big of a deal. There's not really anything going on. So people have autism. And as we understand it better, those people can be raised in a way that makes them, like, very functioning in society if they have autism. What is the fucking big deal?
I want to thank...
I've never heard that we've had an autism crisis until today, but...
The man who brought this issue to the forefront of American politics along with me. And we actually met in my office, is it like 20 years ago, Bobby? It's probably 20 years ago in New York.
Wow.
I was a developer, as you probably heard, and I always had very strong feelings about autism and how it happened and where it came from.
Probably fat people. Let's be fucking... Like, here, listen. Here's what I know. If you have kids when you're a little older and you have kids when you're a little heavier, there's a higher chance of your kid having autism. That's my... Like, right? We'll look it up right here. But that's my understanding. Right here. Yes, both advanced parental age and parental obesity are independently associated with an increased risk of autism. Right? So, like, hey, what I'm hearing is, like, let's figure out a way to get people to have babies earlier, younger. And, like, let's try to get society a little healthier. It's probably the biggest, I would say the biggest factor. I'm the example. Yeah, dude. Fucking, yeah. There you go. So I would say this is probably more impacted than whatever the fuck he's going to say. Tylenol? I don't know.
And he and I don't know, the word got out, and I wouldn't say that people were very understanding of where we were, but it's turning out that we understood a lot more than a lot of people who studied it, we think.
Okay.
And I say we think because I don't think they were really letting the public know what they knew.
You think or you know? I feel like this is a pretty serious topic. You should maybe know.
Thanks as well to the director of the National Institute of Health, Dr. Jay Bhattacharya,
Wow.
FDA Commissioner Dr. Marty McCary. These are great people. Administrator of the Centers for Medicine and Medicaid Services, Dr. Mehmet Oz, and Acting Assistant Secretary of HHS, Dr. Dorothy Fink.
Wow.
So thank you.
Fucking Dr. Oz, dude. This is crazy. We just got a bunch of white DEI hires here. Dr. Oz, RFK. Fucking, what is it, Pete Hegseth? Isn't he just like an alcoholic? They replaced some fucking black guy that was like actually in the military and had an extra star. I hear that's good in kindergarten. I feel like, what the hell's happening?
You all. Thank you, Dorothy, very much.
Thanks, Dorothy. I appreciate
The
you, girl.
meteoric rise in autism is among the most alarming public health developments in history. There's
Not really. No.
never been anything like this.
There's been things worse. Like, I don't know. People with autism are pretty chill.
Just a few decades ago, 1 in 10,000 children had autism. So
Wow, I wonder why. Possibly because people were like thinner, having kids younger. Possibly because we didn't really have any ways to detect autism. Used to just call you, yeah, that's my slow friend. I used to work with a guy. Nice guy. Listen, I'm not sure. I am not a professional, but he was autistic to me. So, but we didn't call him autistic. He was just a little, he was just him. Yeah, he's just that guy. He's a good guy. That's how you talk. That's how they used to be diagnosed. Yeah, that's my friend. He's a little, he was in the special classes in school. Now we know exactly what the fuck's going on, or much more. So now it's like, oh yeah, this guy has autism, and like let's put in some kind of a behavioral or some kind of protocol to help them learn better. Like I have a cousin with autism. He's like a robotics guy. It's crazy. Isn't that insane? So, good for him.
So that's not
I think it's just good for him.
a long time. And I've always heard, they say a few, but I think it's a lot less time than that.
Sure. What?
It used to be 1 in 20,000.
Wow.
Then 1 in 10,000.
Was it is that true? It used to be 1 in 20,000? There's never been a point in history where it's been 1 in 20,000. Just kind of made that up. In the 1960s and 70s, the first, what is it called? Epidemiological? Dude, how do you say this word? Look at this insane, word here, dude. What is this word?
Epidemiological.
Epidemiological. Wow. Studies on autism in the U.S. and Europe estimated a prevalence of 2 to 4 cases per 10,000. So that's that. So apparently it used to be 1 in 2,500. I don't even think there's been a time where it's been 1 in 10,000. So I don't think that we've ever had a diagnosis of 1 in 20,000 or even 10,000. He just kind of made it up. So that's good. Was autism ever once in 10,000? Where is that stat from? Okay, once they were low. Okay, in the 60s and 70s. All right, well, there's two things conflict with each other. Reported prevalence rates of 2 to 4 cases per 10,000. Okay, so then it was never 1 in 10,000. It was 1 in 2,500 or 5,000, whatever. Either way, Trump's lying. That's fun. Just made it up. I bet Trump has 3 wieners. A little exaggerating. He might have one, but...
And I would say that's probably 18 years ago.
Wow.
And now it's
what?
1 in 10,000. And I would say that's probably 18 years ago.
You're saying 18 years ago? There was 1 in 10,000? What? 18 years ago. What does that mean? Are you telling me 18 years ago was 1 in 10,000? I don't think that's true. What's the autism rate? The rate was approximately 1 in 150. What the fuck is he talking about? What?
Then a lot less time than that. It used to be 1 in 20,000. Then 1 in 10,000. And I would say that's probably 18 years ago.
No, you just made it up. 18 years ago was 150. Why is he just making? Oh, it's Trump. Okay, like to make stuff up, I guess. Incredible. I just don't understand why is he doing this. What's the goal here of lying about all this shit? I really don't get it, man.
And now it's 1 in 31, but in some areas it's much worse than that. If you can,
yeah, much worse. That's a little bit of a rude way to talk about it.
Believe it, 1 in 31.
Wow.
And I gave numbers yesterday for boys. It's 1 in 12. I was told that's in California where they have for some reason, a more severe problem.
Maybe because they have a better detection metrics. Because California overall has a higher IQ and better educational resources than like fucking Alabama. You think maybe it has something to do with that?
But whether it's 1 in 12 or 1 in 31, can you imagine? That's down from 1 in 20,000, then 1 in 10,000. And now we're at the level of 1 in 12 in some cases for boys.
I also think, so there's, just to be clear, there's nothing that says 1 in 12. He's just made it up. But I think one of the things that people need to keep in mind about like autism is I think that there's so many different things, but I think that one factor is that we live in a time where people are growing up on the computer. And I think that being like kind of antisocial computer person, it's those you're going to mimic some of the symptoms, we'll say, of autism. We'll say autism symptom. Is that even the right way to say it? Autism symptom, right? So let's say you grew up on the computer. You like fully grew up on the internet. Let's see if any of these would apply to you, even if you're not necessarily autistic. Difficulty understanding and responding to social cues. Sounds like somebody who grew up on the internet. Reduce eye contact and facial expressions. Sounds like somebody who grew up on the internet. Challenges initiating and maintaining conversations. Sounds like somebody who grew up on the internet. 6'7". It's not a bad take. You're just not smart. Sorry. Dude, I'm already raging. Difficulty understanding sarcasm and figurative language. This just means that one. I don't know if that's an internet thing. Lack of interest in social interactions and friendships. This one makes sense. If you're online all day playing VR Gunnar 1024,000 Mark II or something, you're probably not going to develop social skills. Repetitive behaviors. Insistence on routines and rituals. Okay. Wake up, goon. Wake up, goon. World of Warcraft. Repetitive movements such as hand flapping or rocking. I don't know if that would be something that you'd have. Intense and narrow interests that may consume a large amount of time. That sounds like everybody who obsessively I used to play World of Warcraft for 12 hours a day. I don't think I was autistic. Just to be clear. What the hell did I do? Difficulty with changes in routine and environment. Okay, that makes sense. Right? Do you understand the point that I'm getting at? Sensory sensitivities. You're sitting inside all day. Lights are going to hurt your face. The point is that I think that a lot of these things, like be growing up online in a way that's like very terminal, is going to mimic these symptoms. So later absent language development, if you're sitting on your fucking iPad all day, do you think that you're necessarily getting the stimulation you need? Difficulty using language appropriately or creatively? Sure. So all I'm saying is that when you grow up online in a very terminal way, some of those things might mimic the symptoms of autism. And so I think that in general, we as a society are like, say, struggling in some capacity to kind of keep up with what's going on the internet. I think that's something that people should keep in mind. I think a lot of the radicalization of people is internet related, being terminally online, not really going outside and talking to different people, just sitting in an online community, feeling comfortable. Lack of social interaction. I think a lot of our problems are the internet. We're not realizing that. So I'm not saying autism obviously is real, but I think that maybe some of these things potentially misdiagnosed autism and maybe more like some kind of being terminally online issue more than anything else. But okay.
Boys, 1 in 31 overall.
Wow.
So since 2000, autism rates have surged by much more than 400%. Instead of attacking those who ask questions, everyone should be grateful for those who are trying to get the answers to this complex situation. Okay. And the first day all of these great doctors behind me were there, I told them this is what we have to find out.
Also, like how high or low functioning, I mean those are dated terms. How high or low functioning are these individuals getting diagnosed? Like, is somebody getting diagnosed that's like just like me? They just like happen to have some very minor, I don't know, autism. I don't know how you'd say it. And it's just like, oh, that's interesting. People that just need like maybe some kind of like behavioral protocol. They don't need to like make a whole massive change. It's just more about being self-aware of like what they have. Like how much is it that versus like working in living in a group home? These are great questions. How many of these are bull blacks autism versus just robot autism? You know what I mean?
Yeah, because when you go from 20,000 to 10,000 and then you go to 12.
It was never 20,000, but okay.
There's something artificial. They're taking something.
No.
And by the way, I think I can say that there are certain groups of people that don't take vaccines and don't take any pills that have no autism.
I'm sure there's a couple. I mean, listen, you're not going to like what I have to say about this, but I will say if you want. The people who... Okay, let's be absolutely clear. People who don't take vaccines are stupid. If you don't take vaccines, if you don't take like one vaccine, if you were a little skeptical of COVID vaccine, that's fine. But if you don't take vaccines, like when you're a kid, your parents don't give them to you, it's because your parents are fucking idiots. Your parents are dumb idiot people that believe in alternative truths. They're morons. they're not smart. And what that means is that they grew up in a shitty community that wasn't very smart, that didn't really have good educational resources. And so maybe their lack of education failed them, and they weren't able to get the resources they needed to get diagnosed with some potential issue they had themselves. If they were in a better area, school district, or they had more money, maybe the Department of Education was still around. They actually had more money in their school district. They could have been properly educated and diagnosed. I have ADHD. If I didn't live in New York with like robust systems, I probably would have been a big fucking failure. But you know what I mean? Now I went from being really stupid to a little less stupid. I think maybe it's more of that. So let's not pretend like it's like one of those things where it's like, yeah, I stubbed my toe, but I'm not going to look at it, so I'm not bleeding. Like that's what we're talking about here. So let's be real. Let's be absolute truth, boy.
That have no autism.
No autism.
Does that tell you something? That's currently. Is that a correct statement, by the way?
Wow. I can't believe you even asked that question. Are we seeing growth? Are we seeing growth? What the fuck?
There are some studies that suggest that, with the Amish, for example.
The Amish.
Yeah, the Amish don't have autism. Oh, okay. Amish people don't have autism. That's crazy. I've never seen a group of people work with wood that well. Not even women. Never seen a woman work with wood that well. Except maybe my wife. Bro, listen. I'm not trying to be an asshole with this whole Amish. Oh, the Amish. Oh, the Amish. I'm not trying to be an asshole with this whole Amish conversation. Their education sucks. Nobody that has autism in the Amish community is going to be detected because they have bad education. And to be honest with you, they probably don't have particularly great education in general. So, you know what I mean? Like how close to maximum potential are they hitting? How close to maximum potential are they hitting? Just for the regular people, not even people with autism. Like if I wasn't, like again, if you or I weren't raised in a good education system, we wouldn't be particularly intelligent. I don't know if you guys know this, the Amish don't have they don't really have very robust schools. So I'm telling you, first of all, listen, I'm telling you, there's a tremendous amount of people in the in the Amish communities that probably do have autism. It just goes undetected because they don't have robust medical systems or educational systems that help detect these things. What the fuck? But okay, crazy.
Yeah, virtually. I hear no. I heard none. See, Bobby wants to be very careful with what he says, and he should. But I'm not so careful.
Neither of you are being careful
with what I say. But you have certain groups. The Amish, as an example. They have essentially no autism.
They also essentially have no fucking style, and they get no bitches. Let's be real. Have you ever seen a fucking Amish person? They dress like ass. They're dressed like shit. Okay, and their haircuts suck. I'm just being real. I love Amish people. I go to the Amish markets every time I go to Pennsylvania. I go to the Amish buffets every time I go to Pennsylvania. Okay, and I see the fit every time I go to Pennsylvania, and it never changes. Oh, I'm gonna what should we wear today? How about a bonnet and a blue dress? Like what the fuck? Wow. Hey, I'm a guy. What should I wear? Maybe something with just a shirt. Maybe just like a button-up shirt. Some overalls. And then I'm just going to kind of not really do... I'm just going to let this grow. And I'm going to have an amazing beard and mustache combo. Patchy combo. I saw an Amish person on a bicycle the other day. A couple months ago when I went there. But the bicycle didn't have pedals. It was just like a razor scooter with big bicycle wheels. And I thought that was strange.
First, effective immediately, the FDA will be notifying physicians that the use of let's see how we say that. Acetaminophen.
You can't say acetaminophen. Does he not like do a quick recap or a run through what he's going to say before he comes out here? What?
Acetaminophen.
Acetaminophen. Yeah, that's I believe that's what's inside of my Tylenols. So apparently in 2010, we did a study on 1,900 Amish kids. Ohio and Indiana, and they found that 1 in 271 potentially had autism. It was apparently lower than people here. That would make sense to me. Why? Because usually I've yet to see a fat Amish person, and usually they have kids young. By the way, I love fat old people. I am one, but that could explain the discrepancy. I don't think it's fucking Tylenol. I don't know, but what do I know? I guess as much as Trump.
Okay. Which is basically commonly known as Tylenol.
Tylenol.
During pregnancy can be associated with a very increased risk of autism.
It can be associated with an increased risk in autism. What does that come from? So nothing shows that or links that. There's actually no study that ever shows that. So that's cool. Also, who the fuck cares? I don't know. Like, like, you know what I mean? Is this the same thing as the Diet Coke study? That there's like, I've seen studies that show an association with like Diet Coke and fucking cancer. And it's like, oh my God, Diet Coke causes cancer. And then you realize who drinks Diet Coke? Fat people. And being fat is a comorbidity of cancer. I don't know if you know that. So what do you think it is? You think that it's the Diet Coke causes cancer, or you think that fat people eat like shit, myself included, and because we drink more Diet Coke, there's a link there. That doesn't necessarily mean anything. Doesn't matter if it's associated. It needs to do, like, there needs to be a direct cause, like a direct link. What are you talking about?
So taking Tylenol is not good.
It's not good, guys.
I'll say it. It's not good.
I'll say it's not good unless you have a headache, and it's all right, or you're in pain and you don't want to get addicted to a drug, or you take a baby aspirin because you have a heart problem. Any of those reasons, great. But apparently, if you're pregnant, you should not take it, I guess, because Trump said so, based on no studies. I think that's incredible.
For this reason, they are strongly recommending that women limit Tylenol use during pregnancy unless medically necessary. That's
kind of how it is now, is it not?
For instance, in cases of extremely high fever, that you feel you can't tough it out, you can't do it.
Yeah, okay, just to be clear, what Trump is saying, you should wait until, this is what I think is incredible. So apparently, according to Trump, Tylenol, taking that while you're pregnant, that might be linked to autism in your kid. So you should wait until you have an extremely high fever. The mother, whose health and safety matters significantly when it comes to having a baby and carrying it and delivering it, you should wait until you're so fucked up that you have such a significantly high fever. That's when you should take it. You shouldn't take it as you're getting sick to prevent yourself from having a fever that could fry your fucking brain and put you in the hospital and potentially kill your baby. Don't do it then. Wait until you just wait until you're fucked up. Is that what I'm hearing here? Am I hearing that it's better if the mother gets incredibly sick and takes medicine, not preventatively, but like as your last resort, over having autism? I just feel like maybe don't tough it out if you're a pregnant person, a pregnant mommy, future mommy. I say get ahead of the game. Use a little bit of that future sight. Maybe that's a better idea. Trumpy wumpy. Is that a good way to say it? I don't know what to say. But thank you, Trump.
I guess there's that.
There's
it's a small number of cases, I think.
Small,
but
I think.
If you can't tough it out, if you can't do it, that's what you're going to have to do. You'll take a Tylenol, but
just one. Just a singular Tylenol, guys. Maybe a baby Tylenol for your baby, to help your baby out.
It'll be very sparingly.
Very sparingly, guys.
Can be...
You guys think that, like, Tylenol didn't bow down to Trump? You know what I mean? You think that Tylenol didn't bow to Trump? So he's like, I'm going to go after fucking Tylenol. What the fuck's happening?
Something that's very dangerous to the woman's health. In other words, a fever that's very, very dangerous, and ideally a doctor's decision, because I think you shouldn't take it, and you shouldn't take it during the entire pregnancy. They may tell you that toward the end of the pregnancy you shouldn't take it during the entire, and you shouldn't give the child the Tylenol every time he's born and he goes and has a shot. You should.
What the fuck are you saying? I don't even.
Give a Tylenol to that child.
Don't give it to that child.
All pregnant women should talk to their doctors for more information about limiting the use of this medication.
Pregnant men, you guys are safe. You can do whatever you want. Pregnant women, don't be taking Tylenol.
While pregnant, so ideally you don't take it at all. But if you have to, if you can't tough it out, if there's a problem, you're going to end up doing it.
You end up doing it.
The other thing that
I can rambling at this point.
Tell you that I'll say that they will maybe say at a little bit later date, but I think when you go for the shot, you do it over a 5-time period. Take it.
I don't know what that means.
Over 5 times or 4 times, but
what shot?
You take it in smaller doses, and you spread it out over a period of years.
I don't know what he's saying. Is he saying vaccines?
And they pump so much stuff into those beautiful little babies, it's a disgrace.
What is that based on? Is it dangerous to give your babies a lot of vaccines at once? What? How many vaccines do babies get? Apparently, if you have vaccination is one of the best ways a parent can to protect their infants from teens from 16 possible harmful diseases. All right, how many times do they get vaccinated? So the first 8 weeks, you'll get a 6-in-1 vaccine, which is basically one vaccination. 12 weeks, you'll get another 6-in-1. 16 weeks, you get another 6-in-1. Do you consider that one? Or is that 6 vaccines? I'm assuming it's just one vaccine. It's like a 6-in-1 shampoo, conditioner, body wash, exfoliating cream. It sounds like a man thing. Women, you guys can have your single vaccines. I'll take the 6-in-1 vaccine. So yeah, 8 weeks, 6-in-1, 12 weeks, 6-in-1, 16 weeks, 6-in-1. Then a year, you want to get a second dose and a third dose. You know, these are all the doses. I'm going to just give my kid all these doses. That's what I pay the doctor for. Then, so it looks like in the first 5 years, you're getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, maybe 10, 11, 12. You're going to get 12 vaccines in the first 5 years. You're going to get 12 we already do this. He's just saying things. We already do this. We already do this. What are you fucking idiot? We already do this. What is he talking about? You get them over 5 years anyway. What a fucking moron.
I don't see it. I think it's very bad. They're pumping.
What?
It looks like they're pumping into a horse.
Do you regularly watch babies get vaccines? I don't understand what you're saying.
You have a little fragile child, and you get a vat of 80 different vaccines, I guess. 80.
That's just not, no, that's not true at all.
Different blends.
I don't know what the fuck you're saying. You're just saying things. You're just saying things. Okay, wait, I've miscounted. You're getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7, 8. What did I do? 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah, 15. You're getting fucking 15 shots in 15, 16, 17. 17 shots in the first 5 years. Over 5 years, not that bad. That's not too bad. All right, if that's an alcohol shot, you're not getting drunk. Sorry, guys, you're fucked.
And they pump it in. So
what are you talking about?
ideally,
you know a lot about that, from pumping vaccines into children. You and your buddy Epstein, what's going on with that? The Epstein files. Whatever happened with that?
a woman won't take Tylenol, and on the vaccines, it would be good instead of one visit where they pump the baby, load it up with stuff.
Yeah, this doesn't happen.
You'll do it over a period of 4 times or 5 times. I've been so into this issue for so many years just because I couldn't understand how a thing like this could happen. And it's artificially.
Yeah. I've never heard you talk about it until you started, doing your thing with RFK. So I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
It's not like something that when you go from all of those healthy babies to a point where I don't even know structurally if a country can afford it. And that's the least of the problems.
I don't know what you're saying.
Families destroyed over this is just so.
What families are getting destroyed?
So terrible. I also, and we've already done this, we want no mercury in the vaccine. We want no aluminum in the vaccine.
I don't even know if they do that now. So apparently there isn't. Has been removed or reduced to trace amounts in nearly all vaccines routinely recommended to children in 2001. A mercury-containing preservative called, I can't pronounce this, is still present in some multi-doses, but this the whatever free versions are also widely available. It sounds like this isn't a particularly big problem. Is there aluminum in vaccines? Yes, some vaccines contain small amounts of aluminum. It is included as an adjuvant, a compound that enhances the body's immune response to the vaccine. All right, is it is it harmful? I don't think it's harmful. But hey, if you want, here's my thing. If he was like, yeah, I'm gonna put some money aside to start working on mercury and aluminum-free vaccines, I'd say, oh, okay, that's cool. That's not really a hot take statement. But yeah, I'm pretty sure you're also born with autism. You can't really get it from a vaccine. I don't think anything's ever said that you get autism from vaccines. So I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. There's not a single thing that says it gives you autism. Maybe if you want to argue that a mother getting a vaccine can give the kid autism. No, it's not happening, but maybe that not happening. No statistic that shows that. But okay.
The MMR, I think, should be taken separately. This is based on what I feel.
That's great. Hey, well, you know what, dude? I feelings don't care about your facts. Donald Trump said it here first, guys. Why the fuck do I care about how you feel about things? What the fuck? What happened? I thought this was a facts party. What happened?
Mumps, measles, and all the three should be taken separately. And
what? Why? I don't know. Are they taken together? What?
It seems to be that when you mix them, there could be a problem.
Really? It seems to be there could be a problem. Well, you know what? I'm convinced. I don't. Do you have anything a little stronger than you think? So, you're the president of the United States. You can put money into whatever you want. Put money into the research of this apparent thing that you're worried about.
Well, there's no downside in taking them separately. In fact, they think it's better. So let it be.
Who's they?
Separate. The chicken pox is already separate because when that got mixed in, I guess they made it four for a while. It really was bad.
What was bad? What does he talk? What does he mean? What was bad? What when we mixed the chicken? Yeah, I mean, I guess you can get them at the same time. Or maybe it shouldn't. I don't care. I mean, that nobody cares that if the doctor has recommended you take them separately, no one's gonna have a problem with that. I don't think he's even referencing anything.
So they make chicken pox individually. They're okay. When you mix them, something maybe happens.
Maybe. Wow. I'm once again convinced.
So there's no downside in doing it. It's not like, oh, if you do it, bad things. No, it's only good side, and it may not have that much of an impact, but it may have a big impact.
He's not even saying anything. He's just saying maybe, but not. I don't know. This whole video is like maybe. I don't know.
So let those be taken separately, and then hepatitis B is sexually transmitted.
No, it can be. I'm pretty sure it's also blood. So hepatitis B, direct contact with infected blood or bodily fluids, sharing needles or syringes, sexual contact from mother to child during childbirth. Maybe swallowing a big load from cum. Let's see if it's from cum. If cum, yeah, you can. If you swallow a big fat load, you can also get you can get this as an adult. Obviously, just to be clear, I wasn't insinuating something. Sorry. So yeah, it's not just blood. But you know, if you're tearing that shit up hard style, there might be a little bleeding, and it might be an accident. And I'm sorry. You know, that's why you guys need to do more foreplay. Eat that shit before you stick it in, fellas. You know what I'm saying? You don't want your lady to have a bad time, or your fella. Whether you're pegging him as a girl or you're blasting him as a boy, you gotta get that shit ready to go. This is just a little bit of advice from me. Again, this is all consenting adult stuff. So
there's no reason to give a baby that's almost just born hepatitis B.
Well, there is no reason to give it hepatitis B. That's why you get the vaccine, because it can prevent the mother from giving the kid Hep B.
So I would say wait till the baby is 12 years old.
Why? Why 12? That's just a weird number. If you don't think that they're doing, that's a weird. What?
And formed and take hepatitis.
Sorry, I'm a little. Wait, sorry. Is this a self-report?
Hepatitis B, big impact. So let those be. So there's no downside in doing it. It's not like, oh, if you do it, bad things. No, it's only good side, and it may not have that much of an impact, but it may have a big impact. So let those be taken separately, and then hepatitis B is sexually transmitted.
I totally, yes. Also other ways, but okay. Your blood, bodily fluids, but okay. Let's just go with your logic. Your logic is it's sexually transmitted only, I guess.
No reason to give a baby that's almost just born hepatitis B.
Okay, there isn't a reason to give. I'm assuming he means the hepatitis B vaccine. Okay, so what you're saying is like, listen, you get this through intercourse. Young people aren't exposed to that, so they don't need the vaccine. All right, I'm with you on the logic. Like I said, the vaccines can help prevent mother to child transfers. But okay, I'm here with your logic. So when do you think that they should get that? And also, when do you think that they should get the vaccine? And then this would also be you saying, when are they going to start doing stuff?
So I would say wait till the baby is 12 years old.
Yeah, that's weird. That's a kind of a self-report. I think that might be a little self-report. 12 years old? That's a little young. That's a little young unless you're best friends with somebody for 15 years that owns an island. Then maybe you'd be, about me personally, disgusting. I find it disgusting. It's terrible stuff. Get your kid vaccinated, guys. That's my advice personally.
And formed and take hepatitis B. And I think if you do those things, it's going to be a whole different, it's going to be a revolution in a positive sense in the country.
Yeah. I think so too. Listen, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this. I think it could be positive. But I don't know if I can explain it. All I know is that smart people get vaccines. Stupid people don't get vaccines. Vaccines prevent death. You should get the vaccines. Don't. I would never. Some would call it Darwinism. I would never call that Darwinism. I think that's terrible. I think that's a terrible thing. All jokes aside, please get your kids vaccinated and yourself. Please do it. That's my recommendation to you. All you guys out there. That's all I'm saying. All right.
The FDA will be updating the label of an existing drug to reflect potential benefits in reducing some autism symptoms. This gives hope to the...
Like, what's this? What's a symptom? Do you know what autism is? Like, do you know what a symptom of autism is there, Trump?
Many parents with autistic children that it may be possible to improve their lives. That's one of the things that...
You can improve their lives, yeah. You know, I think my cousin has autism, and his parents had him eat like a specific diet. I don't know what it was. I think maybe it was gluten-free or something. I have no fucking idea. Yeah. What else do you want me to say? I don't know. What else do I say? Like, what the fuck? Yeah. But when he says improve their lives, he's like, we could try to get rid of it magically. No. You can engage in educational protocols that the Department of Education would help. Oh, but that's gone. That's going away. Does the Department of Education exist anymore? Chat, does we got rid of that, right? Does the Department of Education exist? Let's see. It exists, but the future and current functions are undergoing significant change. Okay, so we're phasing it out. Incredible. Not really, though.
I'm very, very happy about it. I mean, this was mostly going to be on how not to have the child affected, but we've learned some pretty good things about certain elements of genius that can be given to a baby, and the
genius?
Baby can, certain elements of genius that can be given to a baby, and
what the fuck does that mean? Talk about like the fucking super soldier serum? Is this Marvel?
The baby can get better, and in some cases, maybe substantially better.
Like what do you give the baby?
Not going to be easy, but
what do you? I don't understand. What do you give the baby? What are you saying?
A lot easier if it didn't happen in the first place, as these great parents fully understand, right? They fully understand. Feel so.
They're probably not very good parents if they're agreeing with anything you have to say. Frankly,
terribly for. I have so many friends with autistic children. It's a
I don't think you do. I don't think you know. I don't think you have any real friends.
Tough situation.
I don't think you know anybody. I don't think you know anybody with autism at all, in any capacity. My wife works with people with autism. They're pretty chill, but I don't think you know anybody with autism.
Finally, to help reach the ultimate goal of ending the autism fever, the NIH will be announcing...
Autism fever is fucking crazy.
Announcing 13 major grant awards from the Autism Data Science Initiatives. And to be honest with you, to me, that's the least important. It's not even a money thing at this point.
What?
Of ending the autism fever, the NIH will be announcing 13 major grant awards from the Autism Data Science Initiatives.
Where's it going? Hopefully to helping people with autism.
And to be honest with you, to me, that's the least important. It's not even a money thing at this point. There's so much money, but they have to do, and they have to move quickly. They when the alternative is that nothing bad can happen, let's do it now. I was just saying to Bobby in the group, let's do it now.
What the fuck are you? Does anybody listen to the way he constructs sentences? I don't understand what he's saying. He just like yaps. Does Trump have autism? Like I mean, that's God bless. Nothing wrong with that. What the fuck are you? He just talks. I think he maybe has something wrong with his fucking brain. I don't understand what he's just talking. He's just insane.
Nothing bad can happen. It can only good happen.
What?
But with Tylenol, don't take it. Don't take it.
Sorry. Can we just listen to that sentence again?
That nothing bad can happen. Let's do it now. I was just saying to Bobby in the group, let's do it now.
So now.
Nothing bad can happen. It can only good happen.
Nothing bad can happen. It can only good happen.
But with Tylenol, don't take it.
Well, the Tylenol, don't take it. Yes. That's my president, right? That's my president. Those are my president's words. Those are my president's words. That's my president, and those are his words. That's fucking incredible. Holy fuck. I love that. I love that.
Nothing bad can happen. It can only good happen. But with Tylenol, don't take it.
That's what I'm saying. I've been saying this for thousands of years. Nobody even understands me anymore. Only Trump does.
Nothing bad can happen.
Nothing bad can
Let's do it now. I was just saying to Bobby in the group, let's do it now.
No.
Nothing bad can happen.
Nothing.
It can only good happen. But with Tylenol, don't take it.
Dude, that's exactly what I've been fucking thinking my entire life. Write that down right now. Fucking genius, dude. Holy shit. I'm shitting my pants right now. Nothing bad can happen. Only good happen. Just take it, guys.
Nothing bad can happen. It can only good happen. But with Tylenol, don't take it.
Nothing bad can happen. I don't even know what he's saying.
Nothing bad can happen. It can only good happen.
Nothing bad can happen. It can only good happen. Tylenol, don't take it.
But with Tylenol, don't take it.
We got to write this down, like right now. I think it's beautiful. Nothing bad can happen. It can only good happen. But with Tylenol, don't take it. Truly historic moment.
Don't take it.
Don't take it.
And if you can't live, if your fever is so bad, you have to take one because
if your fever's so bad that you might die, then you could take a single Tylenol. But outside that, you probably shouldn't take it, guys. That's President Donald Trump, ladies and gentlemen.
There's no alternative to that.
What the
First
fuck?
question:
What
can you take instead? It's actually there's not an alternative to that. And as you know,
Great.
other of the medicines are absolutely proven bad. I mean, they've been proven bad
Like what medicine is proven bad?
with the aspirins and the Advils and others, right?
Advil's been proven bad for pregnancy. Is that true? Advil bad for pregnant women? Yeah, it's considered bad. Ibuprofen. I'm assuming acetaminophen. Is Tylenol bad? The data from numerous studies have shown that acetaminophen plays an important and safe role in the well-being of pregnant women. Oh, okay. Apparently, you're even supposed to go as far as actually taking one. Isn't that incredible? All right.
And they've been proven bad.
Proven.
So I'd like to ask Bobby to get up to the podium and say a few words. And
do you believe that? The data says that apparently Advil's bad. Cool. The data doesn't say Tylenol's bad. So why do you think that one's bad?
Then Dr. Bhattacharya and Dr. McCary, Dr. Oz, Dr. Fink,
Oz.
followed by two incredible mothers that have experienced firsthand what this country is going through, what parts of the world are going through. And I will say there are parts of the world that don't take Tylenol.
Wow.
I mean, there's a rumor, and I don't know if it's so
I took one today because I had a horrible fucking headache.
or not, that Cuba, they don't have Tylenol because they don't have the money for Tylenol.
Damn. Does Cuba have Tylenol? Is that... though the brand name is not available in Cuba, but they have a generic version and it's severely limited and difficult for Cuban citizens to access due to long-standing medicine shortages. Damn. Guys, I think we should help Cuba. Not Gooding Jr., because apparently he's doing some bad shit.
And they have virtually no autism, okay? Tell me about that one.
What? Okay. Does Cuba have autism? Yeah, people in Cuba have autism. Okay. I just looked it up. That's it. Autism rates in Cuba. So apparently it's like, okay, apparently they have a pretty low range of it. I wonder, you know what? Here's my thing. I think it's just because there probably are lower, people are probably having kids younger in Cuba, and maybe they weigh a little less. BMI is lower. If the older you are and the higher your BMI, the higher chance you are to have a kid with like some kind of potential, we'll say incongruency. God bless, by the way. But here's my thing. Since we're all crazy conspiracy, and I want you to hear me, I don't believe anything I'm about to say, but like think about this. All these white nationalist motherfuckers in America think white people are our number one race. What if it's like a white thing? And I don't think it is. I've seen black people and Hispanic people with autism. They're beautiful people, amazing people. Everybody with autism is amazing. Very helpful when you go to the train museum in Pennsylvania. Not kidding. They're the best. But what if it's like a white thing? I don't think that's true. I don't know if there's an association there. But you guys are so convinced it's fucking vaccines that are keeping you safe. What if it's something else? Personally, I just think we should try to move towards be a healthier country, food-wise, exercise-wise, and whatnot. But I mean, you're sitting here spouting fucking nonsense. So, okay.
And there are other parts of the world where they don't have Tylenol, where they don't have
wow, that sounds terrible for them.
That tells you a lot.
Not really. It tells me that they don't really know how to diagnose any of their fucking shit.
And I want to say it right now. And you know the way I look at it, don't take it. Don't take it. There's no downside in not taking it. So I'd like to ask Bobby.
Just want to read the upsides to it. It can potentially relieve mild to moderate pain and fever, low risk of stomach irritation, and its safety for certain populations. However, is important to follow instructions for doctor. Safer for the stomach, safer for health, with people with heart disease and cardiovascular issues. You know. Yeah. Okay. It's a good alternative to opioids, which are really bad for you. Doesn't cause inflammation. Might cause a little liver damage, you know. If you've got to follow dosing limits, talk to a doctor. Seems like there's a lot of upsides to using Tylenol. So, you know.
To come up and say a few words. I hope I didn't ruin his day, but that's the way I feel. I've been very strong on the subject for a long time. You know, life is common sense, too.
Life is common sense.
And there's a lot of common sense in this, and I wish things like this were brought up, and this group has worked so hard on it, but I'd like to be a little bit more...
I mean, here's my common sense. Every single person with autism, they drink water. Maybe we should all stop drinking water. I think that's just common sense, right? This is common sense. The sense is common here. Guys, what's the one thing that links all death? Water? Everyone drinks water, everybody dies. Maybe we should stop drinking water. Maybe we should stop drinking water. I don't do a good RFK. Sorry, guys. But, yeah, that's about the same logic as this fucking moron is activating right now. So, you know, all I have to say is nothing bad can happen. It only good happen. But with Tylenol, don't take it. I think it's beautiful.
A little speedier
air?
in the process of...
Stop breathing air. Everybody that drinks air dies. I can confirm that so far. I think everybody who's ever breathed in air has passed away, unfortunately. It's pretty terrible stuff. What if air is actually poison and we're immortal and we're slowly killing ourselves? I don't think that, but some people do. Maybe a doctor thinks that. I don't know. Maybe. Some people think maybe that's a thing. What people? I don't know. It's like we got a new conspiracy, guys.
Of a recommendation, because there's no harm in going quicker. There's absolutely no harm. At worst, there's no harm. Thank you very much, Bobby, please.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. President. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you guys so much. Thank you. I appreciate that so much.
To meet the president's challenge, I ordered HHS to launch an unprecedented all-agency effort to identify all causes of autism.
I think they've already been doing that, but okay.
Including toxic and pharmaceutical exposures.
Hey, have you guys ever thought about maybe some of the shit that big corporations are pumping into the water? I don't know if that would cause autism. I'm going to think, though, polluting the atmosphere to make a couple extra bucks because we decided to cut environmental protections. Donald Trump, he did that. That might be worse for you in some capacity than a fucking Tylenol. I think that one's probably worse. Now, I don't know if it causes autism. I don't think it does, but I think that those things are called carcinogens. When you pump a toxic shit into the air, and I think that means you might get cancer at a higher rate than not breathing in literal sewage shit air. So I'm thinking maybe, I mean, when are we gonna talk about that one? That would be kind of interesting.
President Trump's urging NIH.
That's the funniest fucking thing anyone's ever said to me, and he paid me to say it to me. RFK sounds like if Ethan Klein never coughed. I love that. I think that's so beautiful. That's fucking crazy.
FDA, CDC, and CMS are turning over every stone to identify the etiology of the autism epidemic and how patients and parents can prevent and reverse this alarming trend. We have broken down the traditional silos that have long separated these agencies, and we have fast-tracked research and guidance. Historically, NIH has focused almost solely on politically safe and entirely fruitless research about the genetic drivers of autism. And that would be like studying
You don't think it's a good idea to figure out the genetic drivers of autism? I feel like that's a good idea, no?
the genetic drivers of lung cancer without looking at cigarettes. And that's what NIH has been doing for 20 years.
Oh, the Tylenol apparently is the cigarette. So I'm fine with you putting money into looking at environmental impacts of autism. That's totally fine. Why is it specifically Tylenol? Like, I genuinely don't get it. We already know that there's a link between like obesity and having kids later in life and like your kid coming out with a potential like, you know, disability at a higher rate. We Googled it before. Okay. Why the fuck do we have to link Tylenol to this? Doesn't make any sense. I understand that it is genetic as well, but there are also environmental factors. So, yeah.
As a result, we don't have an answer to this critical question.
Not really a critical question.
Despite the cataclysmic impact of the epidemic on our nation's children, we are now replacing the institutional culture of politicized science and corruption with evidence-based medicine. NIH research.
What are you talking about, dude? What politics is in science? You guys are weird freaks. Are you guys gonna lock us down again for like the autism epidemic that doesn't exist? It's like, what are you gonna do? I don't understand. It's so weird.
Teams are.
I love how Donald Trump will spend the entire like first fucking droning on about how the literal government statistics about autism, like he's referencing government institutions and like research in this supposed like ideology driven research industry, and they're using those statistics, and then they're like, no, we have to do different. Well, stop referencing them then. If you think that all medicine is fucked or whatever, and it's all ideology driven, then how can you trust the studies that agree with you? It doesn't make any sense.
We're currently testing multiple hypotheses with no area off limits.
Whoa, you're testing hypotheses. Like, that's fine, but what you're telling me is you're testing things that like you have no confirmation on. A fucking dick worth of shit. I love that though. RFK throat goat. Incredible stuff.
We promise transparency as we uncover the
Whoa, I thought you guys were against that.
Causes and treatments, and we will notify the public regularly of our progress.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. You guys are just going to stop talking about it once you can't find the results?
Today, we are announcing 2 important findings from our autism work that are vital for parents to know as they make these decisions.
Personally, if I thought it was vital to know of these findings, I would have someone else say it. That's just me personally. That's my common sense activating. I don't know if you guys know what that means. Common sense apparently is pretty difficult now. It's just me and Trump. We're the only ones who can engage in it. I would have somebody who can maybe communicate that a little bit better. I don't know. I'm just being, I don't think that we need, I don't think we need TGRFK here. Throat coat. Robert F. Kennedy. J. DGRFKJ. I think somebody else could probably do it. Maybe Dr. Oz. I don't know.
First, HHS will act on acetaminophen. The FDA is responding to clinical and laboratory studies that suggest a potential association between acetaminophen use during pregnancy.
Okay, so you guys listen to that again because you obviously cannot hear a fucking word he's saying.
It suggests a potential association.
So it suggests a potential association. Those two things are not definitive. Again, just research it if you want. Invest energy into looking into it if you want. But using potential and suggest, those are not hard truths. Those are, yeah, maybe, but saying it twice. Double maybes, that's a lot of maybes. That's twice. That's maybe to the second power. That's not a concrete anything. Why is it that you're like, yeah, maybe, potentially, I don't know, kind of, you're farting out of your fucking face when you're saying these things? What, like, this is so stupid.
Between acetaminophen used during pregnancy and adverse neurodevelopmental outcomes, including later diagnosis for ADHD and autism.
Okay. ADHD and autism. I don't know, man. I have legitimately diagnosed with ADHD. Part of me wonders if like young boys are just not great in the traditional school system. Young boys have a lot of energy they want to get out. They're not, in my opinion, and maybe I'm wrong, but not as well-tempered or well-mannered as young girls. Young boys are assholes and they have a lot of energy, and like we have a school system that says sit down for 8 hours, and it's like tough because kids want to get, especially young boys, want to get their energy out. So like maybe some people are overdiagnosed with ADHD. ADHD is real. I have it, like I said. Maybe some people are overdiagnosed because they're not getting like their productive energy out, and so they're always like, they can't sit and focus. But again, we're talking about fucking Tylenol, so that's great.
Scientists have proposed biological mechanisms linking prenatal acetaminophen exposure to altered brain development.
Whoa.
We have also evaluated the contrary studies that show no association. Today, the FDA will issue a physician's notice about the risk of acetaminophen during pregnancy and begin the process to initiate a safety label change. HHS will launch
what did Tylenol do to these guys?
A nationwide public service campaign to inform families and protect public health.
Okay.
FDA also recognized that acetaminophen is often the only tool for fevers and pain in pregnancy, as other alternatives have well-documented adverse effects.
Yeah, so basically it's the best you could do. Like if you have a fever, it can be very I know we live in the we're like in a Western country, but a fever can be very dangerous. So if you have like a mild fever and you take Tylenol, it can reduce your fever and make you not die or get worse, which could cause stress in your body, which could cause the death of the fetus. So even if there's a potential negative, which there's no study that actually says that, wouldn't it be better that your baby actually comes out with autism than it dies? That's my hot take. I don't know, And I guess their hot take is let the mom get really hot in their brain until it fries, because that's what a fever will do to you. Guys, don't take Tylenol. Lay in a cold bath. It's basically just Tylenol, but for your bones.
Just wants, therefore, to encourage clinicians to exercise their best judgment.
Maybe you should just tell them to exercise. Maybe that'll solve our problems.
And the use of acetaminophen for fevers and pain in pregnancy by prescribing the lowest effective dose for the shortest necessary duration and only when treatment is required. Furthermore, thanks also to the politicization of science, the safety of acetaminophen against the risk of neurodevelopmental disorders in young...
What's the logic here? What's the logic here, by the way? I'm just genuinely curious about this question. What the fuck? What's the logic here? I'm asking a serious question. The logic here is that the left has poisoned our brains into thinking Tylenol is actually good when it's not. Like, what? I don't understand. What's the link there? What am I missing? I don't get it. I don't know.
Young children has never been validated. Prudent medicine, therefore,
what?
Disorders in young children has never been validated.
I don't know what he's saying.
Furthermore, thanks also to the politicization of science, the safety of acetaminophen against the risk of neurodevelopmental disorders in young children has never been validated.
Maybe it's because it's just not real.
Prudent medicine, therefore, suggests caution in acetaminophen use by young children, especially since strong evidence also has associated it with liver toxicity. Some studies...
Yeah, if you take too much of it for too long of a period of time, that's why you take it in a short term. What? Right? Like, I'm pretty sure it could potentially hurt your tummy if you take it for too long, I guess. Let's look it up. Does Tylenol hurt your tummy if you take it too much? Guys, yeah, it can cause your belly to get hurty. Thanks, RFK, for telling us. Not for nothing, but I feel like 90% of what they're saying is incredibly stupid. Well, 100% is, but like 90% of what they're saying, we already like do. It's like, oh, I don't. We're gonna have them. You recommend that you should only take Tylenol short bursts. Wow, really? That's fucking crazy. Because that's how we already do Tylenol. That's incredible. Yeah, I think that maybe we shouldn't give 10,000 vaccines to kids at once, and they should take it over a course of 5 years. Yeah, we do that one already as well. Yeah, I think that the vaccines are safe as long as you don't get all of them at once. Yeah. Yep. We know that. Yep. That's it. I'm going to urge the government. I'm going to tell them that they have to follow these protocols. That's incredible because we do that already. It's like most of this is just shit we're already doing. And then Trump will be like, we did it. we fucking achieved so much. You know, your fucking your next like fucking 60 IQ MAGA brain fucking moron is gonna go to the doctor. They're like, yeah, take Tylenol for like 3 or 5 days. Oh my god, Donald Trump said that. Holy fuck, he's so smart. Oh my god, my king. Meanwhile, like every other time they've gone to the doctor, they just like fucking bumble through it. The doctor's like, yeah, take this. They can hand them shit. They'd be like, yeah, no problem. They just eat shit because they're like literally stupid people that. Especially ones that specifically are MAGA. I'm not saying if you vote Trump. I'm saying if you wear the hat, if you're a occultist, they're dumb and they take direction from any authoritative figure that they exists around them. You know, Donald Trump. Oh yeah, Trump. Oh, doctor told me. But now we have to weigh in like who's our best authoritative figure versus our worst. Like the best one, Donald Trump. He outranks doctors, even in medicine apparently. Oh, but Trump said. But if you're unquestioned, if he doesn't question an authoritative figure, MAGA goes, yeah, okay. They'll shovel shit into their fucking mouth as long as Trump is like, yep, sure, or they doesn't say anything about it. Like that's what they've been raised to do that through like exclusive fucking religious education. And by the way, God is great, but like when you only grow up in like a religious institution that doesn't teach you that dinosaurs existed or the world rotates, or that it's not good to breathe in the tailpipe of your car. You're taught just listen or I'm gonna hit you with the ruler. You're probably not gonna be super smart guy. you're probably going to be the opposite of that, and you're probably just going to fucking bumble around life and not ask your doctors questions. And you lead to stupid doctors. Like I've had doctors that are like, I'll ask a question because I want to understand. They're like, what? Like, they can't explain it. And I just don't go to the doctors anymore because they're stupid. If you can't explain anything to me, then you're fucking worthless. I might as well talk to a fucking computer.
Studies have also found the use of acetaminophen in children can potentially prolong viral illnesses. FDA will drive new research to safeguard mothers, children, and families. In addition to a possible acetaminophen connection to autism for pregnant women.
Possible. I love it. He just keeps saying none of them can give you an absolute confirmation. They are literally telling us that they have no absolute link, but we're still going to change the guidelines around it. That sounds so fucking stupid.
Infants and toddlers, our research has revealed that folate deficiency in a child's brain can lead to autism. What? We have also identified an exciting therapy that may benefit large numbers of children who suffer from autism.
What's that? What is that going to be? Is Trump going to advocate for like Epstein therapy? Because I don't know if you guys know that he was his best friend. You guys have to keep talking about this Epstein shit, okay?
Peer-reviewed literature has documented that up to 60% of folate-deficient children with ASD can have improved verbal communications if given Lucavorin.
Given what?
I have instructed NIH, FDA, and CMS to help doctors to treat children appropriately. Jay will help tell that story.
I don't even know what he said. Like you can't understand any word he's saying. What? So apparently this is just folinic acid, whatever. I don't care. There are some trial runs some small clinical trials show that there may be a benefit. Okay, cool. Keep running those trials, fellas. Like, what is he saying in absolute terms?
Which started with sound science, the kind that restores faith in government. The announcement.
What? Why is this one that has very limited research because it's still ongoing? Why is this one sound science and the other ones are not? I don't understand.
Well, this announcement also represents a historic collaboration between NIH, FDA, CDC, and CMS. We expect this to be the first of many announcements over the coming years.
I can't understand what this motherfucker is saying.
That deliver actionable information to parents on underlying cause of autism and the potential paths for prevention and reversal. Finally,
reversal? What the fuck? Okay. I mean, I wouldn't call it reversal. I would just call it educational metrics to help your kid thrive with autism, right? Like, oh, your kid has autism. Oh, okay, cool. What does that mean? Oh, we're going to give you like maybe a special education plan for your kid to maximize their outcome. Oh, cool. And maybe there's a diet associated with it. Oh, okay, cool. They talk about autism like it's like fucking the worst thing in the world. It's so weird.
Like, autism is a complex disorder with multifactorial etiology.
Yep, and you're the one to talk about it, I guess.
We are continuing to investigate a multiplicity of potential causes with no areas of taboo. One area that we are closely examining, as the president mentioned, is vaccines. Okay. Some 40 to 70% of mothers who have children with autism believe that their child was injured by a vaccine.
I don't care. Why would I care about what they fucking believe? Not to be an asshole, 83% of people in the United States believe that they're all the victim of a magical apple curse that makes pregnancy and giving birth hurt more. I'm sorry to burst your fuck. I love the idea of God, but I mean, a lot of mothers believe that. We got people in the government that literally think that their wife birthing a baby hurts because, I guess 6,000 years ago, some fucking person ate an apple off a tree when a snake said so. And I feel like I think that we have to come to terms with this concept. We have to come to terms with the concept that God is a beautiful spiritual thing that I think can benefit people significantly, as long as you disconnect it from our logical side. I think we need to understand that. I think we need to understand that there are people who go to church every week so that they can metaphorically cannibalize their Lord and Savior Jesus Christ through bread and wine. It's just like I don't care what people think. I care what the data says. So what the fuck? I don't give a fuck if a lot of people think that a thing is bad. What I care about is if the thing is bad. Okay? And it's time to separate our spiritual side from our logical side. Okay? If you can't do that, you're a fucking idiot. Okay? And if you think that God, like, I mean, like, I feel like the smartest way to operate is like, hey, you know, God created Tylenol or something. Okay, yeah, that makes sense to me. Yeah. But apparently, no, I don't know. What the fuck? Incredible.
President Trump believes that we should be listening to these mothers instead of gaslighting and marginalizing them like prior administrations.
Why the fuck would I care about what these mothers think?
Some of our friends like to say that we should believe all women.
I don't.
Some of these same people have been silencing and demonizing these mothers for 3 decades because research on the potential link between autism and vaccines has been...
He's still saying potentially, can't even confirm it.
...actively suppressed in the past. It will take time for an honest look at this topic by scientists.
Yeah, but you're not being honest. You guys aren't even like researching it first before talking. You're just telling us that there's a link. Like what?
And I want to reassure the people in the autism...
But then going, well, not really though.
...community that we will be uncompromising and relentless in our search for answers. We will perform the studies that should have been performed 25 years ago. Whatever the answer is, we will tell you what we find.
These studies were performed. They didn't really yield anything. If you want to do another study, be my guest. But like, stop acting like it's like, it's real. There's just no study. This is probably not real. You're saying it's stupid as fuck.
We are researching this issue to all 3 agencies. Jay will discuss one of our research initiatives at NIH. This model of unleashing unbiased, depoliticized, gold standard scientific research and academic freedom to deliver actionable information to prevent and reverse disease will be a model for the framework to deliver similar results for many other chronic conditions that plague Americans.
I can't comprehend a single fucking word this guy's saying.
Okay.
Guys, is it an L that RFK has to read from a paper and Donald Trump just fucking naturally gives us his charisma? I mean, come on. Isn't that a W for Donald Trump? Ronald Wump? What the fuck?
Thank you, Secretary Kennedy, and thank you, President Trump.
Thank you very much.
Who the fuck's this guy?
I'm proud to announce today that the NIH has launched the Autism Data Science Initiative
Wow, thanks, man.
to turbocharge autism research, devoting
Turbocharge it? We're overclocking this bitch. Okay.
an additional $50 million to the cause of studying autism.
Damn, are we gonna take that money from the billionaires that we just gave tax cuts to, or who's paying for that?
Nearly 250 research teams from across the country applied, sent in their applications, and
I love it that Trump came in, cut a bunch of services that were necessary, which costs us money. And now he's just creating unnecessary government institutions to waste money. Yeah, we're doing like the Autism Supercharge initiative to do stuff that we're already doing kind of, but less productive. We're going to make it worse. We're going to just do this worse. Guys, you're about to build a shed with your mother. Guys, what we came into a government that was a bit flawed. It was like trying to help your older father go grocery shopping. In order to fix that, what we're going to do is we're going to change it to building a shed with your mother. It's going to be really good. Your mother's going to think she knows what she's doing, and so you're going to sit there and wait 20 minutes while she reads instructions and interprets it worse than you interpreted it 5 minutes ago. That's what we're doing, guys. That's what the government is now. Hey! that's just what we do now. We're just government. We're just fucking dumb. We're just dumb as shit. I love it.
were peer reviewed by the NIH review panels. The NIH peer reviewers chose the 13 best projects focused on root causes and therapies with
all 13 reasons why, guys.
Replication and validation studies to guarantee gold standard science. The studies feature a new kind
of... What about the golden sauce at McDonald's? That was pretty good, my wife said. She had it today. Isn't that beautiful?
Science called exposomics, where scientists consider environmental and medical factors, nutrition, events during pregnancy, in combination with biology and genetics to answer vital questions about autism.
Don't we already do that? Right?
Science like this, conducted in partnership with families and physicians, is the best way to arrest and reverse the autism epidemic.
I've never heard that there was an epidemic until today. I'm fucking flabbergasted.
Autism spectrum disorder encompasses a very wide range of symptoms, ranging from mild difficulties with social interactions to profoundly autistic children who experience severe
and adults
disabilities in speech and behavior. Given this wide range of symptoms across the spectrum, it seems certain that there will be a wide range of biological contributors to explaining the cause.
Yeah.
The great thing about the new...
And I'm sure environmental as well.
NIH initiative on autism is that scientists will use rigorous advanced methods in causal inference, machine learning, organoids, and other fresh approaches to the problem.
Okay.
The sharp rise in the prevalence of autism deserves an urgent response by the scientific community.
Why?
As Bobby said, the NIH has invested a lot of money.
Why is it this big of a deal? What?
To study autism over the years. But the research has not produced the answers that families and parents of autistic children deserve. And
what do you think they deserve?
autistic children themselves deserve.
Have you ever talked to a parent with autism, with like autistic kids? Some of them are assholes. Not all of them, but I just want to be clear. Some of them are. They're not like amazing. They're regular people. You know, there's people with fucking Down syndrome that are assholes. Like, everybody can be an asshole. Like, what do they deserve? Like, hey, this is the facts. No, what the fuck? No. What the fuck, dude? I just wanted to look this up before I made a joke about it. Okay, and I'm gonna leave it on the screen for context. You know, who are these people that are sitting here saying vaccines gave them their kid autism when their fucking grandma and grandpa are fucking cousins? You know what I'm saying? Like, how many of you guys maybe, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. That's all I'm saying. Let's just say you grew up in a red state. The highest rate of obesity in America. Listen. I can't spell for fucking shit. But studies suggest a link between a parental obesity and ASD. So let's say you live in a big boy state, and you know it's a red state, and it's it's one of those states where people maybe fuck their cousins and sisters. I don't know. Maybe there's something there. Maybe it's not the Tylenol or the vaccines. Maybe your mom's your aunt. I don't fucking know, dude. The fuck do I know? I don't know. I don't know, dude. What the fuck? I'm just saying. Listen, I'm not trying to be rude. There are environmental and genetic factors that would have a higher cause of autism, right? And it's okay if you have autism, and we should do as much as we can as a society to help you. And you could probably there's a lot of people with autism that are outperform people like me. It could be a beautiful thing. But why you guys are like looking at the most obscure? It's gotta be vaccines. Like, why is it to be vaccines? Why can't it be the lifestyle of the people, in the South that like get religiously educated and don't really know things very well? So they go like, yeah, it must be this because I'm fucking, like you don't know what you're talking about. You're not like, what the hell's happening?
Too long, it's been taboo to ask some questions for fear the scientific work might reveal a politically incorrect answer.
That's just not true. You're being stupid.
Because of this restricted focus in scientific investigations, the answers for families have been similarly restricted, often pointing families to behavioral therapies that don't work for every kid.
Yeah, it's because of new science, so we're trying to figure these things out. The mental health sciences are very new.
Or suggest non-modifiable.
We just like deinstitutionalize people and let them live with the rest of society, like very recently, like a decade ago. We're just finding out how to deal with this shit in a better capacity, but okay.
Genetic factors is the cause. But genetics alone can't explain such a sharp rise in autism prevalence over just a few decades.
Sure. Part of it can be better detection metrics.
As the president said. In coming months and years, as NIH scientists learn more that can help autistic children and their families, we won't delay. Like scientists often like to do. I can say as a scientist myself, it's really tempting to delay, but in face of a problem like this, you have to move fast.
What you're saying is incredibly stupid, because what this guy is saying right now is he's saying like, hey, listen, we think this is actually the fucking funniest thing ever. What this guy is saying right now, backed by Trump and Dr. Oz and the guy who smokes a lot of cigarettes, what he's saying right now is, listen, there's an autism epidemic, which I didn't even know until today. I had no idea. And people in the scientific community like to move with caution to make sure that we're taking the correct step. But in this case, we have such a bad epidemic that we need to move forward without making the best steps because it's such a problem. We need to just make steps. Okay. Now, I question if there's actually an epidemic, but your logic would make sense if all of you weren't COVID deniers. Because what was COVID? It was an epidemic of COVID that was killing people. So we needed to move forward as fast as possible with the vaccine. Was it as good as other vaccines? Probably not. But it was still better than we needed. But we needed to get something out. And so the same party that's sitting here and shitting on the COVID, pretending it's not real, despite the fact that we had 1 million excess deaths in America alone, are the same people co-signing this exact same thing, but when it comes to autism, and no actual data, right? So if there is data, it's not real. It doesn't make any sense. It's if there's data on it, it's not real because it's politicized. If there's no data on it, it must be real because it's not politicized. Because it's politicized. None of this makes any fucking sense.
But we will not delay before telling American people what we find, and we will win the public trust with transparency and rigor. Already, our broadened focus on...
Can we get some transparency on those Epstein files, boss?
On autism research has pointed to 2 items that will help families prevent and treat some cases of autism. I'll leave the good news on these 2 items to my close friends and colleagues, Dr. Mercury and Dr. Oz. We've been working together closely on this problem for the past 6 months, and our cooperation represents an unprecedented collaboration with Secretary...
Why does RFK always look uncomfortable as fuck?
Kennedy's Department of Health and Human Services, and with President Trump. I'm delighted to introduce Dr. Marty Mercury, Commissioner of the Food and Drug Administration, who will tell you about these announcements of practical help for families with autism.
Wow. I can't wait. Can we get this guy a step stool?
Great, thank you, Dr. Bhattacharya. Mr. President, this is the start of a historic shift in medical culture.
Mr. President, I'm going to jerk you off before I start talking, boy. This is fucking historic. Holy shit, feed that into my throat. Holy fuck.
This administration is working together to ask big questions about why our nation's children are getting sick so fast.
They're fucking fat. Let's put the autism aside. These fucking kids are fat, bro. I'm fat. These kids are fat as fuck. These kids are eating like shit, okay? And these kids aren't exercising because they're sitting on all day playing Fortnite, okay? I used to sit all day playing games too. I loved it, but it's probably not good. So put the autism aside. We're all very fat, and that's not good for us. I would say that most of our problems probably more impactful that we're fat than it is that we have some kind of other issue. Right? Being fat ain't good, dude. It's okay if you're fat. Love at every size, am I right? Health, maybe at every size. But, like, we're fat. Right? So, like, what the fuck are we sitting here doing? That's an incredible donation. Thank you for the $50. There's a potential link from my sack to this guy's gin. I think that's a beautiful message. It's incredible. I would never co-sign that. That's incredible. I would say there's nothing bad can happen. It can only good happen. But with Tylenol, don't take it. That's what I have to say about that.
Too often, medicine is doing small little studies, giving us answers we already knew.
Yeah. Of course. I like that.
But we've got to make a difference. You've given us a charge to identify root causes. And we are not going to stop so that we can end the suffering we are watching. And if you've seen a kid with autism, with severe autism, it's hard to watch.
What?
Kids get frustrated. They get angry. They can be crying because they want to speak and they can't speak. It's hard to watch.
This guy licks his lips too much. Have you ever talked to anybody with autism, like in any meaningful capacity? Hey, we found some fucking parents that have kids with autism, and we're gonna sit here and we're gonna be like, yeah, you're right. My wife works with people in the IDD community. What you're saying is just like words. I don't think any of you ever have you ever visited a group home before? What the fuck?
And it may be entirely preventable. For an epidemiologist,
maybe it is. You keep saying maybe, and nobody has given any definitive answers here. They always keep saying potentially and maybe. Holy fuck.
Child is an expanding statistic, but for a child, it can be brutal to have autism.
Okay, gotcha.
Today, the FDA is taking action to update the label on acetaminophen and sending a letter to all U.S. doctors letting them know about the risks in pregnancy.
But there are none right now. Like, you guys haven't identified that accurately.
We now have data we cannot ignore.
Can't ignore it.
There's a very large study, the Boston Birth Cohort.
Yeah, Boston Birth. What the fuck are you saying?
With researchers that have, from Johns Hopkins, my former institution, and Boston University, found quote unquote consistent associations between acetaminophen in pregnancy and autism.
Okay. But that doesn't mean that's causing it, right? So just to be clear, if you're overweight, there's a higher chance if you're overweight, there's a higher chance that you're going to be on like some kind of Tylenol or some kind of aspirin or some kind of acetaminophen or whatever. Fat people are more, sorry, I'm just looking stuff up. Fat people are probably going to be more likely to take Tylenol because they're going to have more chronic pain issues. And so, like, again, there seems to be a link between being overweight and having a kid with autism, which is fine. Like, do your thing. But what if it's just that? What if it's just a Diet Coke issue? Like, what if it's just like hey, fat people are more likely to drink Diet Coke, so that's why some studies suggest drinking Diet Coke is linked with heart disease or whatever, because fat people have heart disease more than not fat people, right? So, like, why is it the Tylenol? You're just saying it's the Tylenol.
And the Nurses' Health Study with researchers from Yale, Columbia, and Harvard looking at 9,000 kids found that acetaminophen use in pregnancy was associated with neurodevelopmental disorders.
In what way? Because the parents took it?
And 4 weeks ago, a Mount Sinai Harvard study
So the parents took acetaminophen, and so you're saying that must mean that was why?
He reviewed all the existing literature and found the overwhelming body of evidence points to an association.
What? Based on what? Why does it point to pointing to an association? Doesn't mean anything.
Sure, you'll be able to find a study to the contrary. That's how science works. But to quote the dean of the Harvard School of Public Health, there is a causal relationship between prenatal acetaminophen use and neurodevelopmental disorders of ADHD and autism spectrum disorder.
Okay. I'm quite literally grokking it right now. So what Grok says is that there have been some studies, and there is a possibility of a causal relationship. So they're still studying it, which is fine. Keep studying it. But he's misrepresenting the study, saying that there is a relationship. There's a possibility of it. And it even says in here that further research is needed to confirm the association. And by the way, I'm fine with that research. But they even emphasized in this study that emphasizing that the evidence does not yet prove causation. And yet he just lied to us and said that the person said it does.
Association. Developmental, looking at 9,000 kids, found that acetaminophen use in pregnancy was associated with neurodevelopmental disorders. And 4 weeks ago, a Mount Sinai-Harvard study reviewed all the existing literature and found the overwhelming body of evidence points to an association.
No, they didn't. They pointed to a possible association.
Sure, you'll be able to...
a possibility of a causal relationship. So they pointed that there is an association. That there is an association. It doesn't mean that the association is linked with each other, just to be absolutely clear. Right? That would be like if your favorite baseball team wore red and they always won. So now there's an association with wearing red and winning. But that doesn't necessarily mean that wearing red makes you win. Unless, of course, you're an orc from the Warhammer universe. In that case, if you just dress in blue, you get more luckies. That's it. So is there an association? Sure. There's an association with going to Disney and having a very gummy smile. Does that mean that, there's a genetic predisposition to going to Disney if you have a gummy smile? I don't know. Maybe we should do research. I don't know. An association doesn't mean that there's a causal relationship. It doesn't mean that the Tylenol or the acetaminophen is causing this thing. So keep studying it, but this guy's just saying things.
Find a study to the contrary. That's how science works.
That's how it works.
But to quote the dean of the Harvard School of Public Health,
the whole dean,
there is a causal relationship between prenatal acetaminophen use.
He didn't say that.
And
there's a possible
neurodevelopmental disorders of ADHD and autism spectrum disorder.
Never said that. They said there's a possible causal link.
We cannot wait any longer. And honestly,
he's just lying. But okay. I think that the thing that you guys should take away from this more than anything else is how scary it is that these people are willing to bypass the completion of the data. Like they'll bypass that and just tell you something. Like they're not being careful. They're not saying, hey guys, there might be some links. We should put more money into this research, which I think is fun. They're just like, no, there might be some links. So we're definitely going to go ahead and pretend that there's a link. It's fucking ridiculous.
There's been this perfunctory, reactionary, mindless practice in medicine. I learned it in medical school and residency. Just treat all fevers. Low-grade fevers, treat them with acetaminophen. Why? What are we doing?
I don't know. Maybe the doctors are lazy and maybe you're just a lazy fucking asshole. Doctors will just throw Tylenol at people if they're having an issue. Yeah, it's because you guys are lazy as shit and don't want to do your fucking job. That's not a fucking Tylenol problem. That's you're a lazy bitch problem. What?
A study out of Hopkins actually showed that treating a fever can prolong the duration of illness in a young kid.
What? Can treating... What? The fuck? What is that? Fever contributes to the inflammatory... In some infections, what? Okay, fever contributes to the inflammatory response. In some infections, it says antipyretics could prolong the illness. What? What? So what I'm seeing here, when I look at this, and this makes sense, it says, and this isn't necessarily confirmed, but it says the best evidence, apparently according to Richard Classo, suggests that there is neither harm nor benefit to treating a fever with fever-reducing medications. Okay. Like acetaminophen. I doubt that this is true. What it sounds like it's actually saying is that it's not necessarily going to increase the duration of your illness or reduce it, but it would reduce the symptoms of it. So like, let's say you're gonna have a fever for a week. If you take acetaminophen, you're gonna feel more comfortable. You're gonna be like have less of a headache, and you're gonna feel better. Or you can just not take it, and you'll have the illness for the same amount of time, but you'll be less comfortable, which could potentially lead to other complications. It's like one of those things. Like, okay, I'd rather take the Tylenol. Like, like, well, I don't understand. Like, if you have a high fever, it can fucking fry your brain. What are we talking about? What?
Maybe that's because a fever is a body's natural way of ridding an infection.
Sure. Doesn't necessarily mean that you should overly engage in it. I mean, your fucking leg pussing because there's an infection is a natural response too, and yet we drain the pus.
When my wife was pregnant and delivered our son a few months ago, they pushed her to take acetaminophen for a low-grade fever.
Wow.
She said no, and then they looked to me and I said, absolutely no.
You talk like that? Okay.
I'm also here to announce good news.
That was funny to them. Saying new. Wow. This is like fucking 1990s Dr. Evil jokes.
Today, the FDA is filing a Federal Register notice to change the label on an exciting treatment called prescription Lucavorin so that it can be available to children with autism. You know, autism...
Prescription Lucavorin? Oh yeah, this is just like folinic acid. Apparently, I mean, maybe this will help. I don't know. I just don't trust this administration because they don't operate on facts. It doesn't even give you a fact. Apparently, this is a cancer treatment. It's a medication used to reduce the harmful side effects of certain cancers and other folate drugs, most notably whatever the fuck this is. Methotrexate, whatever. I can't pronounce it. I don't care. So it could potentially be beneficial. That's great. If it is, but it could also have these problems of aggression, headaches, insomnia, agitation, increased tantrums. Okay, well, yeah, that's what somebody with autism needs is increased tantrums, guys. Okay. I don't know. I was looking into people say I've seen people say something about how Dr. Oz has some kind of like promotion with this. Apparently he doesn't anymore. He dropped all his sponsors. I don't really know, but apparently he's been talking about this, the health benefits of this for a long time. I don't even know if it's real or if he just like is so convinced that it is that he just says it and it's like fucking like pseudoscience.
May also be due to a autoimmune reaction to a folate receptor on the brain, not allowing that important vitamin to get into the brain cells.
Maybe we could research it more.
It's an
if this was like the only thing they said, I'd be like, okay, cool.
Fully established, mature pathway. Again, we have a duty to let doctors and the public know we are going to change the label to make it available. Hundreds of thousands of kids, in my opinion, will benefit. One study found that with kids with autism and chronic folate deficiency, 2/3 of kids with autism symptoms had improvement, and some marked.
What does it mean?
Improvement.
What study can you tell? What are you talking about? Improvement in what? Improvement in their autism? What's the improvement? You need to be specific. When you're not being specific, it leads me to believe that like you're not being honest.
Mr. President, you told us to do what's medically right, to go bold, and not worry about the corporations and the lobbyists. So that's what we're here doing today. Thank you, Mr. President.
Good, thank you.
All right. Clap, 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 clap.
Thanks, Marty. I think you all appreciate the passion in the president's voice. We've been hearing that since the inauguration. In fact,
I haven't heard any of it.
Even before the inauguration, the president was upset about what he spoke to today. And so together with Secretary Kennedy, who's made it his life's work to address some of these challenges with autism, they challenged us. In fact, they were harsher than that. They wanted no silos to break down what the NIH would do, what the FDA would do, what CMS would do. They insisted that the physician leaders bust through the clutter because their agencies had the power if we didn't do what every other prior administration had done, which is to let people function within their siloed environments. Because of that, in his...
what are you saying? Are you saying that you're not listening to the right pathways and you're just doing whatever you want?
Historic fashion, in a very accelerated manner, we have a response today to the autism crisis. It is the first of several chapters, but this is breaking news. You've heard some of it. The response to the autism crisis is going to continue to come to you under Secretary Kennedy's leadership, and the president wouldn't have it any other way, as you've heard. The FDA, based on NIH research, is approving prescription Lucavorin for treatment of autistic children.
Wow.
Now, if you're following the script, there should be two questions that you have. Two questions that should come to your mind. The first is, how will patients and parents get access to the treatment? I'll tell you how. Over half of American children are covered by Medicaid and CHIP, government health insurance. Over half.
Is it still over half, or did you guys cut a bunch of Medicaid for kids? Like what?
And therefore, because they're covered in Medicaid and CHIP, upon this label change by Marty, state Medicaid programs in partnership with CMS will cover prescription Lucavorin around the country.
Wow.
It's yours, but you have to go to a doctor to get a prescription because they know your child, they know you, and they know the medication. States will also have tools.
I love that you can now apparently get this for your kid, which maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. I don't know. They don't either. But we can't recommend people get vaccines, which would help those get covered by health insurance. So we can definitely get something covered that we don't know if it works, and we can't get something covered that we do know that it works. So I think this is a beautiful administration. It's so smart. It's so good.
Tools to monitor its use and ensure appropriate utilization. Wow. That's important for a bunch of reasons because we want the right kids getting the right prescription medications.
Wow, really? Holy fuck.
We believe private insurance companies will rapidly follow our lead if they have not already done so. And again, to make sure that this is safe and effective treatment, you need a physician to prescribe the medication because it's on prescription.
Okay.
Second big question. How are we going to collect clinical data to answer the big questions that the president's asking and the secretary insists that we offer?
Probably dishonestly, I guess.
CMS is also issuing guidance to convene states and existing research networks to support NIH and FDA in their research efforts on prescription Lucavorin.
Trump really wants to talk again. He's so bored.
While also maintaining the privacy of all patients, all health information of our beneficiaries. Collecting real-world data, which is what many of you have been asking us to do in the community, is fast, it is life-saving, and we'll get answers based on what happens over the next few months with this approach.
All right, and if you get the answers you didn't want, are you going to tell us or what?
The aggressive approach, and it is aggressive, demanded by the president and by the secretary, have already identified risk factors and opened the door for the first FDA-recognized treatment pathway for autism.
Cool.
It is the first of its kind, and it wouldn't have happened without the leadership of the president and the secretary. The fivefold increased prevalence of autism over the past 25 years demands a rapid response. The average clinician, researcher, we spoke to many, thought it would take 5 years to get this data. Wow. Parents are unwilling to wait 5 years. The president is unwilling to wait 5 years.
Why? Oh, because he wants a win for his administration that's been tanking the economy? I feel like we should take our time with this, but all right, let's see what happens.
For these results. So the president and the secretary are acting today with this tri-agency move. The administration's bold actions investing in groundbreaking research follow the science. They restore trust, which has been lacking, and they will change the trajectory for millions of American families. Mr. President, God bless you for being brave.
God bless you.
Let me introduce Dr. Fink, who's acting administrator. And
Dr. Fink, I love the name.
After Dr. Fink, we've got some wonderful women.
Hey, it's a girl.
Jackie and Amanda, I know it's going to be tough, but if you can make some comments about this historic day, God bless you.
Are they talking about the moms with that about kids with autism? Do they actually talk? Oh, they don't. Do they?
Thank you, Mr. President, for this opportunity to speak with all of you today.
I guess they're not allowed on camera.
As a pediatrician and mom, I'm here today to talk about what this announcement means for the millions of moms and dads who are faced with the choice of whether to take acetaminophen during pregnancy.
Put a girl on. Put a girl on.
It's hard to hear information that challenges the status quo.
So true.
We are sharing this information not to confuse, but to empower parents to make.
Well, you guys kept saying possibly and maybe, so maybe you're trying to. I don't know if you're definitely confusing some people that understand what words mean.
The best choices when taking medications during pregnancy.
God bless. Okay.
We are all concerned about the rising rates of neurodevelopmental disorders, including autism.
Okay.
President Trump and Secretary Kennedy are dedicated to radical transparency so that patients have the best, most up-to-date information.
That's so beautiful.
We are also sharing this information with our nation's doctors, and we encourage you, as always, to consult with your doctor to make the best decision for you. All too often, it's easy to think that medicines we buy without a prescription pose little to no risk for the mom or the baby.
Okay.
As you heard today, pregnant women who need high fever or pain reduction during pregnancy should take the lowest effective dose of acetaminophen for the shortest possible duration.
Isn't that what they're already told to do?
Most women will not meet these indications during their pregnancies.
Okay. I guess freedom is that's America freedom, baby.
I am encouraged by these developments today because it is another example of our commitment to the American people to leave no stone unturned in improving the health of our nation's children.
Okay.
Next, I'm going to turn it over to some incredible mothers.
She just said nothing. She didn't say anything. She just came out. She's like, "Yeah, you're supposed to follow the guidelines when you're pregnant." Oh, okay, cool. Thanks for telling us that. Hey, hey guys, just so you guys know, if you're pregnant, you should not take too much stuff. Oh, okay. It wasn't that how it already was? Yeah, but I'm going to say it again and pretend that it's new. Oh, okay. Incredible. I love that.
We're going to share more about their...
It's like what she just said was like, we just got another Call of Duty game. Oh, wow. Isn't this what all the other ones were? Yeah, but worse. It's like, thanks for the information, idiot. Like, holy fuck.
Stories, and we're so grateful to have you here today.
Okay, let's see what we got here.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President and team, for all your work. This is an historic day, and I'm thankful to be here. I have a son who is 5, who is profoundly autistic, and you've probably heard if you've met one autistic child, you've met one autistic child. It's a spectrum, which I don't think the spectrum is helpful, but that's another conversation.
It is a conversation, but you'd be wrong about that. So just to be absolutely clear, the reason that we have it autism spectrum disorder now is because of Barack Obama. And the reason was before we labeled it as an entire spectrum, insurance companies could deny your kid get treatment if they have autism. Whether that was, I guess, medication treatment or some kind of, behavioral treatment. So the autism spectrum reclassification actually allowed everybody with autism to have access to a doctor to help them with their autism. So it's actually a great thing if you know things.
He is an amazing little boy, okay. A blessing from God.
Oh, great! Then nothing's wrong.
He's marvelous. He can count to 1,000. He knows all of his letters and the sounds they make and a word for each one.
I can't. It's almost harder to understand what she's saying than fucking RFK.
But he also has a lot of obstacles.
Okay.
He is nonverbal. He can say those numbers and letters, but there's no communication.
Is that how nonverbal works? Sorry, I'm sorry. Can I see your kid? I don't know. What?
He is nonverbal. He can say those numbers and letters, but there's no communication.
Am I stupid? Can you be nonverbal and still talk? Maybe she means that they're gesturing and not necessarily saying that. I'm a little confused.
He is nonverbal. Okay. He can say those numbers and letters, but there's no communication.
Okay, my wife's saying that this is a real thing. Okay, I looked it up. My wife says it's true. She's a behavioral specialist. I guess maybe he says it with like a iPad, right? Like some people with autism have like an iPad to help them communicate. Okay, gotcha. Okay.
Unless you've lived with profound autism, you have no idea.
Dude, who calls it profound autism? I guess I'm just using layman terms. Okay.
You have no idea.
I'm sure it's tough.
He, like you said, he will get frustrated because he can't speak. It's not even that he can't speak. Sometimes he just doesn't understand what I'm saying. He understands the word no.
Hey, relatable for.
Oh, but he doesn't understand the why behind the no. And that's a huge part of discipline. That's the discipline. So it's very hard to discipline a child with autism so you have these behaviors.
Okay.
And it's a very hopeless feeling. It's very isolating being a parent with a profound autistic child.
Profound is a rating? Is it like a legitimate rating? Okay, cool. I gotcha.
Even just taking them over to your friend's house is something.
Middle, moderate, severe, and profound. Oh, mild, moderate, severe, and profound. Those are the ratings. Okay.
They just don't do because, again, they're going to be met with no, 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 and no understanding of why. And then there's a meltdown. And then you're in a situation where you're just helpless and you're just trying to protect your kid. So it's just better not to do it. You learn your limits. And it's been really hard.
I feel really bad for this woman because I would be very confident in saying that like she's probably so severely frustrated by like with having a kid with autism because it can be tough to raise a kid, and so she's just trying to like figure out why it happened. And I imagine that she blames herself for it, and she's like, "No, wait, it's not my fault. It's like the Tylenol or something." It makes her feel better. I mean, I and she's being taken advantage of by a bunch of fucking freaks on, here. These people, Donald Trump, Dr. Oz, Mr. Chimney. So I feel bad for her, man. I feel bad for her,
This is amazing that we're here today. And no one has been able to point to anything to say this is what caused it. And you can't point to that and say it didn't cause it. I have no idea. I'm completely open. I'm not blaming anything. But I'm open to the discussion and the fact that there's work being done to find.
So what the fuck are you doing? Like she's like been manipulated to think that like they were never doing any research on anything, and now that Trump's here, they're gonna do some real research. What the fuck?
Answers. I'm very grateful. I was already excited to vote for Mr. Trump anyway as president, but when we got word of RFK doing his work, I was ecstatic. I could not wait for this work to be done.
What's the work? To prove everything is because of vaccines?
Somebody would try to find us some answers. I'm just very grateful. I pray for my son every day, and
it's beautiful.
Hope that he can get the help that he needs.
Me too.
And just thank you.
Hopefully he doesn't lose his access to healthcare because of these fucking assholes on this that are cutting Medicare and Medicaid.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Don. You take care of yourself.
Hi, my name is Jackie. I'm also extremely grateful for the opportunity to be here and share my son's story. Okay. My son is Eddie. He's 11. He's on the opposite end of the spectrum from what Amanda just explained. He's considered high functioning.
Okay.
He was not always high functioning. He was nonverbal till the age 4.
Okay.
We've had quite...
Sounds like you had a lot of positive interventions.
Quite a hard time to get to the place where we are today. I am just so grateful to President Trump and the entire administration for finally listening to moms who have been crying out for help.
I'm sorry. I feel bad for your situation. You're telling us that your kid, before Donald Trump, was able to get meaningful interventions that made your kid from I guess you'd say, lower functioning, to be archaic in my language, to higher functioning. So, like, what help were you not getting? I don't understand. What help do you think is gonna? I don't understand. What health were you gonna get? I don't understand.
For answers for years. I've met so many other moms with children on the spectrum.
Probably in similar networks because your kids are all getting help.
The 9 years since my son's diagnosis, and they all have very similar stories. And they've all
that their kids have autism and they got diagnosed and now they're getting help. That's a great story.
All just wanted somebody to listen.
What?
To not ridicule them or look at them like they were the crazy people.
There's something she's not telling us about how fucking crazy she is. Because her whole story is my kid got diagnosed with autism and I've been getting interventions that's been helping my kid's outcome. Like, oh, that's really great. I like that. But they're calling us crazy. What are you saying that sounds so fucking crazy? Are you a vax denier? Is that the problem? That you're a crazy fucking vaccine denier? I mean, Jesus Christ.
It's hard when you don't have doctors that take the time to really listen and find out when the change happened and what change happened. And
what do you want the doctor? There's something she wants the doctor to say.
And it's just, I've been praying for this day for 9 years, and I'm so thankful to God for bringing the administration.
Well, it is God who did all that research
into our lives, and I'm speechless. This day is a day I never thought would happen. I thought that we would never have an administration that was courageous enough to look into things that no prior administration had. So,
like what? She's a vaccine denier. She's a fucking crazy idiot. I don't know what to tell you. What?
I'm just here to express my gratitude, and I am looking forward to what comes from this, and hopefully
nothing. Your hopes are getting up for nothing.
We just get.
This is just a distraction from Epstein.
Get more answers. So thank you.
Thank you very much.
Wow, thanks so much. Clap, 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 clap.
So I just want to say acetaminophen is basically Tylenol, essentially.
I think Tylenol is basically acetaminophen, right? Isn't there other brands of acetaminophen? It's the opposite. You kind of got that one backwards, boss man.
Because I noticed that term is used throughout this conference. Okay. So it's essentially Tylenol. And I just recommend strongly that you don't use Tylenol unless it's absolutely necessary. I understand it's maybe 10% of the women that are pregnant are, would perhaps be forced to use it. And that would mean you just can't tough it out. No matter what you do, you can't tough it out. So that's up to you and your doctor. But there's a very strong recommendation, maybe stronger from me than from the group because they're waiting for certain studies. I just want to say, I
don't do that. I know they're waiting. First of all, they're saying it. They're fucking losers too. Second of all, what you're telling us is like you don't have any interest in waiting for studies to be completed.
Say it like it is. Don't take Tylenol. Don't take it. If you just can't, it's just fight like hell not to take it.
Guys, nothing bad can happen. It can only good happen. But with Tylenol, don't take it.
There may be a point where you have to, and that you have to work out with yourself. So don't take Tylenol.
Don't take
Other
it.
things that we recommend, or certainly I do anyway, is, and it's so important to me to see the doctor 4 times or 5 times for a vaccine. don't let them pump your baby up with the largest pile of stuff you've ever seen in your life going in.
Yeah, we already do that. You already get vaccines over the course of time. Okay.
To the delicate little body of a baby, even if it's 2 years.
Stop fantasizing. Trump is weird.
3 years, 4 years. You just break it up into, I would say 5, but let's say 4 visits to the doctor instead of 1.
They break it up into 16 visits from the doctor over the course of 5 years. So what the fuck are you talking about, you stupid fuck? What is he saying? Yeah, right now they're just doing one big old shot. It's literally a large cartoon shot from the Animaniacs. They inject it right into the baby, into their nose, actually. I think that they should make 4 smaller, but still cartoonishly large shots and inject the babies with that over the course of 5 years. Yeah. Or you could do the current recommendation, which is like you typically get these in like 16 different shots over the course of 5 years in much smaller doses than cartoonishly large syringes that are from, again, the Animaniacs. So I don't understand.
And
okay.
Certain things I think you should do. We've already taken out and are in the process of taking out mercury and aluminum now.
That's
you know
incredible.
what mercury is. You know what aluminum is. Who the hell
It's a planet.
wants that pumped into a body?
I don't know. I mean, I eat fish, so it's not that big of a deal.
And there were rumors about both of them for a long time, but we're having them taken out. We're having them.
Listen, I'm going to be fucking real with you, dude. There's literal microplastics in my balls. Like, this is probably a fact. I don't know what 2 ways to say it. There's microplastics in my balls. I'm not worried I'm not too worried about a little bit of mercury in my fish or in my vaccines. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Taken out of the vaccines. Hepatitis B, again, that's sexually transmitted. And
so, or literally just any blood.
We think you should wait. I think you should wait till 12. You know,
I think you should wait till 18. Personally, I'm just an old school kind of guy. Trump, he's an Epstein kind of guy, I guess.
Making these statements from me. I'm not making them from these doctors because when they talk about different results, different studies, I talk about a lot of common sense, and they have that too.
A lot of common sense, guys. Nothing bad can happen, and it can only good happen, but with Tylenol, don't take it. That's what I have to say.
Have that too a lot, but I recommend the hepatitis B. Take it at 12. Sexually transmitted. You don't have to give it to the baby when the baby's 2 years old, and there are a lot of
what are you saying?
Theories on that, but not when they're 12. It's not.
I don't know what theory you're talking about.
Seem to be a problem at all. The MMR and the chickenpox. Chickenpox has already been broken out. It's a singular shot. But the MMR is not. And I've heard for years that there's a problem.
What are you saying?
Chickenpox. Chickenpox has already been broken out. It's a singular shot. But the MMR is not. And I've heard for years that there's a problem with it.
Well, apparently there's 2 doses of it. When you get one at like about a year old and then one at about 4 to 6 years old. So there's already broken up. But okay, thanks, man.
But they say that there's no problem if you do each shot separately, not put together.
Who's they? I mean, don't you not trust any of the science? I don't understand.
So an MMR, go out and do it separately. Don't take Tylenol. Don't give Tylenol to the baby after the baby's born. Every time the baby gets a shot.
What the fuck is happening right now? I'm so confused.
Baby gets a shot. They say, here, take a cup of Tylenol. I've heard that for years. Take Tylenol. Don't take Tylenol. Don't have your baby take Tylenol.
Okay.
Now, Tylenol is fine for people that aren't pregnant, that aren't in the situation that we're talking about. One very specific.
Are you saying the babies are pregnant?
Specific situation. If you're pregnant, don't take Tylenol.
Okay.
When you have your baby, don't give your baby Tylenol.
Okay.
At all.
When can you start taking Tylenol? I'm just curious.
Unless it's absolutely necessary. Don't do it. Break up your visits to the doctors. Break them up. Do it in 5 if you can. Now they
already do it in 16, so
it's inconvenient. It's inconvenient.
Or they do it with a 16 vaccines, 16 shots over the course of like 8. It's what?
No, you're gonna have to go back another year later. You're gonna go back each year for 4 years, 5 years, 3 years. Just break it up, because it's too much liquid. Too many different things are going into that baby at too big a number. The size of this thing, when you look at it, it's like 80 different vaccines.
16. From what we looked at before.
And beyond vaccines. And
what is a beyond vaccine? Is that like an Impossible Burger? Is it a plant-based vaccine? What are you talking about? Yeah, put grass in the baby. Oh, did that work? I don't know. We're just trying everything. I heard the Amish do it, and they seem to be doing pretty well. So we're going to put grass inside of our baby. Oh, okay, great.
80. Then you give that to a little kid. I mean, I can tell you that
80. That's how they're getting the HD. Guys, you put an 80 of them in there, and they're getting HD. So that's where ADHD comes from. You don't have to understand science like me. I'm a smart brain guy.
I had a woman who worked for me, a beautiful, wonderful woman, worked in Trump Tower.
Wow. Was she an illegal immigrant? Because I heard you hired a lot of those as you blamed the illegal immigrants for coming here. You employed them. So isn't that incredible?
And she had the most perfect child. Beautiful.
Perfect. That's weird. That's a weird comment to make about a child, but okay.
Just perfect.
Just perfect. What the fuck, man?
And I remember this little blonde-haired boy running around the lobby of Trump Tower, so healthy and so vibrant.
Why? Why are you saying these things?
And I said, that's great. And one day I came in and she was crying, her eyes out, behind the counter.
Why?
She worked at the front desk. She was...
Would somebody traffic the kid or something? That's horrible.
Crying her eyes out. I've never... As much as I've ever seen anyone distraught, she was.
Wow.
I said, are you okay? What happened? My boy, I've lost my boy. What does that mean, your boy?
Where did he go?
My boy, you know him, sir. You've seen him grow up. He was so beautiful. And I took him for a vaccine, sir. And he developed this unbelievable, I think she said 107, 108. You know, it goes well beyond when this happens. It goes up to 106, 107, 108. You know, we hear 105 and you're in trouble, but it just goes up to a level that you never hear about, but it goes up very high. And they get...
Oh, he's saying a fever.
It's fried. They get fried. She said, I took him. He got developed an unbelievable temperature. And I've lost him, sir. He's gone. And
I don't believe you, but that's terrible if true. Okay. But but this is the problem, is you're the one saying that kid shouldn't have taken a fever reducer. So what the fuck so you want, your advice would have not helped that mother, to be clear. Hey, never give your baby Tylenol. This baby died because it didn't get enough Tylenol. That's fucking crazy. Who would have thought?
And then I saw the boy. It was so tragic to see.
Where'd you see the boy? In your dreams?
That was the following day. That was the following day after the vaccine. And I've seen it 2 other times, and I think 3 other times, but 2 other times, where they go to the doctor and they get the vaccine, they get the shot. The kid is, badly hurt. Let's be nice, badly hurt.
You're the one who just told people not to take fucking Tylenol after they get a vaccine. Why are you now telling people that they got a fever and died after they getting the vaccine? It doesn't make any sense. What is your point? Is your point that we should split the vaccines? We already do.
And just do it. Break it up into 5. Break it up into 4. Break it up into 3 if you have to. But go to the doctor 4 times instead of once, or 5 times instead of once.
Yeah,
and terrible. For some reason they...
Do you think... let me ask you a question. Do you think Trump at the end of his presidency, after we've gotten rid of vaccine mandates and there are thousands of kids dying from the measles, do you think that Trump's going to be like, well, that was really bad. It's horrible when all those kids died? Because the reality is I'm sure there are vaccine complications. I doubt this guy's story is real. But I'm telling you, not having vaccines, the complications are much worse. What do you think is worse, having a little bit of a fever or getting fucking polio? Because even this stupid fuck, I've seen shit where he questions the polio vaccine. I believe this is the one.
There's no vaccine that is, safe and effective.
Those are big words. What about the polio? Can we talk about the?
Well, here's the problem.
Yes.
Here's the problem. The polio vaccine contained a virus called simian virus 40, SV40. It's one of the most carcinogenic materials that is known to man. In fact, it's used now by scientists around the world to induce tumors in rats and guinea pigs in labs. But it was in that vaccine. 98 million people who got that vaccine in my generation got it. And now you've had this explosion of soft tissue cancers in our generation that kill many, 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 many more people than polio ever did. So if you say to me that the polio vaccine was effective against polio, I'm going to say yes. And if you say to me, did it kill more people, did it cause more deaths than avert, I would say, I don't know, because we don't have the data on that.
So the answer would be no. Although, to his credit here, because I haven't heard this clip in a long time, apparently, the earlier versions of the polio vaccine were contaminated, with a virus. This is based on AI. By the way, don't you love the prompt I asked? Was the polio vaccine cause cancer? So actually, to his credit, that's not as big, because apparently some early versions did potentially contain carcinogenic. So, you know what? Some of the he was talking about this from 1955 to 1963. Some polio vaccines were inadvertently contaminated with simian virus, a virus found in Reese's peanut butter cup monkeys, kidney cells. So apparently, I mean, I would imagine that polio is probably worse than this carcinogen. But to his credit, there does seem to be some cause for alarm in the older versions of the vaccine. Still, probably overall positive, probably better, just to be clear. So yeah.
Insisted you put it all into the body, and maybe that's the drug companies that make more money that way. Maybe it's the doctors because they don't want to be, doing this so much. Maybe it was maybe.
Well, if you think that drug companies make too much money, then why wouldn't you try to push for Medicare for all so that the government has more control over the drug prices?
It's the doctors; they get maybe more money. Who the hell knows what it is? Don't do it. Get them broken into 4 or 5 visits. Do it 4 or 5. That means you have 20%, 25% what
you already do that
you're putting into the baby's body. It can
only, guys, would you choose polio now or maybe cancer later? I don't know.
Help.
Tough call, apparently.
Can only help. And the other things I told you about, just the word tough it out. It's easy for me to say tough it out, but sometimes in life with a lot of other things, you have to tough it out also. Don't take Tylenol. Don't give Tylenol to the baby. When the baby's born, they throw it at you. Here, give him a couple of Tylenol. They give him a shot. They give him a vaccine.
I'm gonna be absolutely honest with you. I think that getting Tylenol thrown at you as a baby is probably not as bad as them literally cutting off your fucking foreskin without any warning or anything to numb the pain. Hey guys, it's really bad? They give babies Tylenol when they have a fever. Oh, by the way, fucking crickets on cutting the tip of fucking circumcising a baby is kind of fucked up if you think about it. They just take a ring of your skin and go, that's gone. Wow, that's traumatic. Why don't I ever hear feminism talking about how fucked up that is? I think it's time that we stand up. We ask for our hat back. Me personally, that's just how I feel personally.
And every time they give them a vaccine, they're throwing Tylenol.
They just throw it in.
And some of these babies, they
just shit themselves.
They're long born, and all of a sudden they're gone.
I don't know what I'm saying anymore.
It doesn't hurt not to do it.
Doesn't hurt.
It doesn't hurt. There's no downside.
It does hurt a little bit when you have a headache, but it doesn't hurt not to do it.
There's no downside at all. And break up MMR. Break it up. It's practically a known fact that if you break it up, you're not going to have a problem.
Yeah, it's a good thing they ever do that. Known fact, I guess.
But for years, we've been hearing how bad MMR is as a combination. And I'm very happy that you broke out.
I've never heard that before. But they already break it up, so.
Chicken pox, because that was really a problem. And there are other things. It's interesting because there are other things, we were talking about it, other different drugs, pills that you take that we know are so bad and they don't take them anymore. But for some reason, with this, they keep taking it.
Maybe it's because they don't have data that says it's bad.
Don't take Tylenol.
Don't take it.
There's no downside.
Yeah.
Don't take it. You'll be uncomfortable. It won't be as easy, maybe, but don't take it.
I took a Tylenol, an extra strength Tylenol, before I came downstairs, and I feel much better now, personally.
If you're pregnant, don't take Tylenol. And don't give it to the baby after the baby is born. And
when do they allow to take it?
And you know what? We have more than 3 years left. And I told Bobby and the doctors behind.
I know. Isn't it crazy that we have fucking more than 3 goddamn years left?
I mean, they are so committed to this. I told them that this is the number one thing I want to do from you. And, we have something else called favored nations where I'm going to be reducing drug prices by 1,000%.
That's incredible. How do you do that? Are they going to pay me to take the drug? Are they going to take me to a secret island? How would you reduce it by 1,000%? What does that mean? I don't think you can reduce anything lower than 100%. Okay. What the fuck does that mean?
By 900, 600, 500, 1,200, we're going to be reducing drug prices at levels never seen. It's called favored nations.
All right, I'm pretty convinced at this point that Trump is just rage baiting for attention. I'm pretty sure that that's it. I think we just have to identify Donald Trump is just rage baiting for attention, okay? Because what the fuck? You can't reduce prices below 100%. And he said this dumb shit before, and he's still doing it. And so I'm just going to assume that Trump is saying it on purpose because he likes it when people complain on the internet because it puts him in the atmosphere and it gets people to argue about him. You call him stupid for saying 1,000%. Other of his followers go, oh, he just means reducing it. He's exaggerating. And we all sit here and we get distracted from the real problem. And that's that Donald Trump was best friends with Jeffrey Epstein for 15 years. Look into it, dude. That's his signature, okay? All right?
To be paying what right now, we're like the garbage can for the rest of the world, and we have been for forever. We pay much higher for drugs than the rest of the world. We subsidize the rest of the world. We're not doing that anymore.
Okay. Thanks. That'd be great if you could lower drug prices. I would like to see how you're going to do it other than suggesting it.
And that's a big thing. That's a big thing. That's big.
Hey guys, I'm going to cut Medicare and Medicaid, which directly bargain with doctors and pharmaceutical companies to lower prices. I'm going to cut that, and then I'm going to say, can you please lower this? I'm sure that'll work. Epic capitalism. What if we just undercut markets by buying it for Canada? Oh, we can't do that anymore. We fucked our relationship up with them because we benefit more from the trade with them than they do with us. But there's a deficit. We have a deficit with them. Yeah, they have a sixth of our population. So no shit, there's a deficit. They spend 6 times more on American goods than we do per capita. Okay, the average American spends $1,200 a year on Canadian shit. The average Canadian spends $7,200 a year on American shit. Okay, so I don't know. I don't know why we ever did any tariffs on them. This is absolutely fucking idiot bullshit.
Bigger than anything. I told the story the other night that I was so proud in my first term that for the final year, drug prices went down 0.25%, and I was so proud. I said, "Why? I'm the first one to do it." I think it was 28 years, they said, where drug prices went down from the beginning of the term to the end.
Well, I doubt that's true. I'm just so burnt out on every other dumb claim, I'm not even going to look it up.
And I was so proud. I called a news conference. I said, drug prices have gone down. First time it's happened in 28 years. You know what it was? 0.25%. I was so proud. Now we're going to have them go down from $100 a pill to $9 a pill.
Wow, that's 1,000% if I ever heard it.
From $1,300 for a shot of like an Ozempic or the fat, I call it the fat pill or the fat drug.
Okay.
Sometimes it works, I guess, for people. The ones I've seen, it hasn't worked so well. I got a lot of friends, they're fat. They said, I lost some weight. I said, you don't look it to me.
Okay.
But they pay $1,300, $1,200, and they go to London and they pay $88. And
yeah, this is true.
They call me, they go, what's this all about? We're subsidizing the rest of the world. Stupid.
If he could actually pull it off, that'd be great, but I just don't think he can.
Stupidly, because there are a lot of stupid people in this country running things. And how
I 100% agree with that, Trump.
big is that? But to me, that's nothing compared to autism. I see that gorgeous boy. I have a big present for him in the back. You bring him.
That's scary. Don't say that. Okay. You heard what he used to do with those fucking Miss America pageants, guys. All right.
Back. We're going to bring him into the Oval Office. I have the best present he's ever going to get, okay? A big one.
Oh,
I saved it for you, okay?
It's not that big. I've seen it.
Because I heard you were coming. Look how beautiful.
Whoa. Ew.
Beautiful he is. So that's it. There's nothing much to say. Don't take Tylenol if you're pregnant, and don't give Tylenol to your child.
Yeah, they don't call it Tylenol. They call it Tylenol. It's not for children. It's for Tyler.
When he's born or she's born, don't give
Tyrese, maybe.
Give it. Just don't give it. And we're going to have, I think, really, if you do the things that I say, break it up. Just break it up. Break up the shots with the doctor. MMRs, as I told you, separate.
We already do that.
Separate. Chickenpox already separate. You do these things. I'm telling you, I want it when I leave office.
Well,
I
can't wait.
Want to have, it's going to be the kind of number that we're hearing where it's 1 in 32 or 1 in 10, because I've heard 1 in 10 also.
Where did you hear that?
And in California, it's really bad.
Is it?
I want it to be, let's get it back to maybe 1 in 10,000 or 1 in 20,000 or maybe none in 20,000.
Whoa.
And the only way you're going to do that, because this is artificially induced. This is induced by something.
Like what? What induces autism?
You don't go from 1 in 20,000 to 1 in 10,000, then to...
There's never been a 1 in 20,000.
1 in 10.
And we're not at 1 in 10, so you're just kind of making shit up.
Means you're taking something and something...
I'm pretty sure that if Trump was born in like 2025, he would be diagnosed with autism. Okay.
It's wrong. And I feel very certain, and I know I'll be criticized, someday they'll look back and they'll say, well, it wasn't, but I think it will. I think we're going to have a tremendous. I want this.
What are they going to look back and say? I'm very confused. What is that?
I feel very certain, and I know I'll be criticized. Someday they'll look back and they'll say, well, it wasn't, but I think it will. I think we're going to have a tremendous. This is the most important thing. There's nothing more important than me. We cured inflation that Biden gave us. He gave us so much inflation.
Your inflation numbers are worse. And he had COVID. He inherited COVID from you, which was really catastrophic. And he's still got everything pretty stable. And you've pretty much done nothing but kill jobs and increase inflation and destroy the economy to the point where the Fed had to start lowering interest rates to put more money into the market because they're anticipating a recession. Like, that's why you do that. I think people need to understand when you reduce the interest rates, like when the Fed reduces interest rates, they're doing it because they feel like the economy needs more money, it needs a boost, right? And so, like, the reason that they lower them again is because putting more money into the economy also increases inflation because you have more money into the economy, supply and demand and all that. More available money means people will pay more for things. So you raise interest rates when you feel like there's a recession coming to put more money into the market to try to stimulate growth, and you reduce it so that you can kind of lower the inflation. So it's not really a good thing when you lower interest rates, to be clear. So yeah, it's not necessary. It's not a bad thing to increase the rates, but it's not an indicator of the healthiest economy when you have to.
The biggest ever in history. We got inflation done. We brought prices down. We gave you the largest tax cuts. All that stuff. It doesn't mean a thing compared to what we're doing today.
Wow. Well, we didn't really give us. Okay. Overall, okay.
This means everything.
I love when billionaires get tax cuts. It's incredible.
So we're going to save a lot of children.
Incredible.
From a tough life, really tough life. We're going to save a lot of parents from it.
We're not going to help them with welfare services, but we're going to do other stuff, I guess, maybe, possibly.
Tough life. Okay, how about a few questions? Let's just make it another subject. This is so beyond as a subject that I'd rather not talk about, some nonsense on the economy. And I will say this, the economy is unbelievable.
Yeah, unbelievably bad.
The stock market just hit another record high and all that stuff. This
Going to do a record high?
This means more to me. Yeah, please.
Mr. President, I have one on your announcement, one on vaccines that's also related.
Yes.
Why do you think we haven't heard more previously about the tie to autism and acetaminophen?
Nobody knows. I don't know. Not only that, when you say it, you get attacked. I would say...
What?
Please.
Mr. President, I have one on your announcement, one on vaccines that's also related.
Yes.
Why do you think we haven't heard more previously about the tie to autism and acetaminophen?
Nobody knows.
Probably because there's no tie to it.
I don't know. Not only that, when you say it, you get attacked. I was saying something similar, not as strongly, because now facts are on our side. But I was saying it.
That would be a first, huh?
With Bobby 20 years ago, and I was attacked. I said, whoa, what was that all about? I had no idea. You get attacked. I don't know. The medical community, the drug companies, doctors. I don't know what it is. All I want to do, I don't care about being attacked. It doesn't matter to me. I believe that the numbers at the end of...
I think there's people sitting here clapping like, oh my God, Trump is such a saint.
...of our term or shortly thereafter could be really phenomenal. I want it to go up just like it came down to this horrible level. 1 in 10, 1 in 12. I was told 1 in 10. I was told 1 in 12. Today I heard 1 in 31 if you add the girls and the boys together. It's crazy. And it was 1 in 10,000 and 1 in 20,000.
What?
It's not even sustainable for a country. You want to know the truth. And there are other places that don't have it.
Okay.
And they have things in common. And that's called medical research. Yeah, please.
Yeah, they don't have it. So they don't know how to diagnose it.
But I'm curious, as you look at the trend lines,
yeah,
how much of this is the causation of acetaminophen and how much is sort of better diagnosis, doctors, researchers having a better understanding of what is on the autism spectrum?
Do you want to do that? Sure, go ahead.
That's one of the canard that has been promoted by the industry for many years, that it's changed diagnostic criteria, better recognition. But there's been study after study on if that completely debunks that.
There's no study that debunks that us getting better at diagnosing autism is not real. What are you saying?
One of them by the Mind Institute at UC Davis, University of California. But also it's just common sense.
It's not common sense that as time goes on, we get better at diagnosing things?
Because you're only seeing this in people who are under 50 years of age. If it were better recognition or diagnosis, you'd see it in 70-year-old men. I've never seen...
Well, they're dead, I guess. I don't. What do you say? Okay. Holy fuck! I'm sorry.
This happening in people my age.
He's just. I want to say so many slurs to this guy, but he's just so fucking stupid. Bro, my wife works in homes full of like fucking old ass motherfuckers with autism. I forgot outside. These people don't know autism communities. This stupid asshole motherfucker grew up during a time where the status quo was to lock people with mental health issues into fucking institutions so they never had to see them in public. And now he's like, I've never seen somebody my age with a kid, because you don't fucking exist around them. You what the fuck are you talking about? You don't exist around those people. So no shit you don't see them. Literally every time my wife walks into a group home, there's fucking one of the people she met today. It's like fucking 70-something years old. They're all over the fucking place. If you actually are comfortable with people with disabilities, you'll see plenty of 70-year-old fucking people with autism or anything. But he's just like, I've never seen it. Open your fucking eyes and your throat too. Jesus Christ. Oh, it's fucking insane. These people are fucking nightmares.
Never seen a case of full-blown autism, and that means profound autism.
What the fuck does that mean, full-blown autism? Not the trained type of autism. Which type? The group home one?
Very careful. Head banging, stimming, toe walking, nonverbal, non-toilet trained. I've never in my life.
What the fuck? Dude, oh, he's so dumb. He's so fucking dumb. What is a full-blown autism? I very highly doubt I'm gonna see a 70-year-old man who slams his fucking skull into the wall. You wanna know why? Because if he's doing that when he's younger, he's probably lowered his lifespan. Yeah, they're not potty trained. What are you, stupid? What do you think they do at fucking group homes? They just sit there and shit all over themselves, you fucking moron. You disgusting fucking freak. People with profound, if you want to use that term, autism, they go into group homes and they learn skills. That's literally what they do. They go there and they have behavioral specialists and direct support professionals help them with protocols to not do whatever you're talking about. That's the fucking point. That's what they do in group homes. They don't just sit there and roll around in shit. They go there and they get help with how to better function in society. But the bar is in the fucking atmosphere. Yeah, I've never seen an old 70-year-old with autism that cracks his skull on the concrete. Doesn't exist. What the fuck are you saying? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Holy fuck. This guy's so goddamn stupid. Holy fuck. This guy's a moron. Fuck.
Full-blown autism, and that means profound autism. I want to be very careful. Head banging, stimming.
Stimming? What?
Toe walking.
What is toe walking?
Autism. I want to be very careful. Head banging, stimming, toe walking.
What the fuck is toe walking? Is this Game of Thrones? What? A pattern where a child walks primarily on the tips of their toes? Dude, what are you talking about? What, toe walking? I don't understand what that... I don't even understand. I didn't even know that was a thing. And I'm going to say that if you're 70, you probably don't possess the capacity to walk on your toes. Because you're probably old. You probably can't even walk. You're fucking 70. Toe walking.
Autism. I want to be very careful. Head
banging,
stimming, toe walking, nonverbal, non-toilet trained. I've never in my life seen a 70-year-old man who looks like that. You're only seeing it in the kids. It's an
maybe you just stop staring at kids, you fucking weird freak.
Epidemic.
Thank you, Mr. President. I was hoping that you could clear up confusion for moms and dads across America, many of whom voted for you. There's a statement that was put out by the American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists, and in their statement, they write, acetaminophen remains a safe, trusted option for pain relief during pregnancy, and that's at odds with what you said. And with
you know what I think? I think we have to talk more about the epidemic of RFK having ILS, visible lat syndrome. You see this guy? He's like, he's like this. You can see. Look at his shoulders. He sits like this. Like he doesn't sit comfortably with his arms. He sits like this, like he has big lats. Oh yeah, I'll go to the gym. Come on, dude. I see you do banded 135s, bro. Stop it. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm a fucking huge guy. Got to get through this door here. What the fuck what is happening here?
But many of the experts say, how do you clear up this confusion?
That's the establishment. They're funded by lots of different groups. And you know what? Maybe they're right. I don't think they are, because I don't think the facts bear it out at all. They're fighting for something that, in my opinion, they shouldn't be fighting for. But here's the thing.
I think that we need a journalist to just call Trump the arsler. Not trying to be an asshole, but
there's no downside to doing, other than a mother will have to, as I say, tough it out a little bit. There's no downside to doing this. It's not like, oh, if you do this, you're going to die. There's no downside. There's no downside to going over a 4-year or a 5-year period or a 3-year period, or even if you space them out for 6 months, you space it out. There's no downside.
Just to be clear, he asked about Tylenol, and Trump is giving him the same vaccine answer he gave before. So I really like how cognitively functioning Trump is.
And that's why I will say the gentleman behind me, they have very strong views, and they feel...
The gentleman behind me has got a nice cock.
...that we're right, but they'll have more research done over the next 2 months. I said, well, 2 months is a long time. A lot of people could be saved, and there's no downside to doing it. Everything I said, there's no downside to doing it. It can only be good.
Only be good.
And I think you're going to see very good results. That's establishment stuff, and we've been reading that about a lot of things for years.
For years.
And
I've been reading it. Dr. Oz has been saying it in Men's Health all for years. That's the only thing I read, by the way.
What's happened? We've gone from...
I wonder if there's a conflict of interest there.
1 in 20,000 to 1 in 10,000 to 1 in 32 to 1 in 10. Think of it. 1 in 10 or 12 or 1 in 31. Think of it. 1 in 31
1 in 31?
people, young kids, get autism?
That's
What
crazy.
is it, Jeff?
That's crazy.
Question is about Lucavorin.
Is that even true?
Mentioned that as part of your plan. That is also a chemotherapy treatment. Have you been in touch with the drug companies to increase production of
Chemotherapy for autism? What?
that? And I'm going to throw in my follow-up at the same time. Dr. Oz mentioned that this will be available with CHIP, children who are on CHIP. But the big beautiful bill reduced funding for CHIP and Medicaid by $1 trillion over the next 10 years. Are you concerned that that will impact your ability to get this drug out?
I'll explain it to you in a second, but please go ahead.
Thank you.
Thank you. Lucavorin is not a chemotherapy, but it is a vitamin given with chemotherapy sometimes. And the idea here is that the folic acid...
Right, because it's traditionally a cancer treatment.
The receptor in the brain is blocked by some antibody response. It might be 20, 40, 50% of kids with autism. And Lucavorin will bypass that blocked receptor. And that's why so many doctors are probably seeing so much clinical improvement on kids with Lucavorin.
I don't even know if that's true, but I mean, like, this could be like the one possible true thing. You know, a broken clock is right twice a day, I suppose.
Are you going to increase production?
Yeah, we've been in touch with the companies, and they are prepared to ramp up production. And we actually talked to them about a month ago.
And on your second part of your nasty question,
Hey, Donald Trump, you took $100 billion. You cut $100 billion a year when it comes to Medicare or Medicaid. Is that going to fucking own the shit out of kids? Your question's really nasty that you'd ever ask me about me cutting healthcare for kids while I pretend to care about them. You're a dirty little goblin boy. Can somebody ask Trump like a real question? Like, Trump, why are you like hey Trump, you're sitting here pretending to care about children, and yet your stupid ass has cut money for kids on healthcare. What the fuck is that about, dog? So people need to stop memeing, like stop being respectful to this guy. Like, talk to him like he's a fucking asshole. Hey, asshole, you just cut a bunch of healthcare for kids, dick. How the fuck are you pretending to care about kids when you just cut a bunch of fucking healthcare for kids, asshole? Fuck you.
The number is that the great big beautiful bill, which is the greatest, I think one of the best things ever passed in the history, with the tax cuts and regulation cuts and all of the things it does, no tax on tips, no tax on Social Security, no tax on overtime, all of it does. It also gives $200 million, as just explained by Dr. Oz, and I'd like you to explain that to exactly what you're saying.
The big beautiful bill actually increases Medicaid spending projected over the next 10 years by $200 billion.
That's interesting. So just Grok, you know, the non-liberal Grok says that that's a lie. No, I might have spelled Medicaid wrong, but that's okay. No, it's it does not increase it. It's actually significantly reduces federal Medicaid spending through various provisions, including work requirements. Okay.
Over the next 10 years by $200 billion. There's also...
He's just lying.
a $50 billion rural health transformation fund, which will allow a lot of these programs to get in the rural parts of the country that the president and Congress are handing to governors to start distributing. Those grants have already gone out. The money will be allocated by the end of this calendar year. And I want to point out that the ability of NIH to do research that feeds and hands the ball to the FDA, which they can change labeling to allow Medicaid programs in states to fund this program, will ensure that the things that President Trump and Secretary Kennedy desire are financially affordable for the families around America.
You mentioned CHIP, sir. That's why I asked that question. You mentioned that CHIP would fund this for children.
Well, most of the kids are on Medicaid, probably 43% on Medicaid, another 8-10% on CHIP, and all the programs in general are being evaluated. Most of what the One Big Beautiful Bill was seeking to do was to remove fraud, waste, and abuse. But the programs themselves should stay financially intact for the people for whom they were designed, and in this case, for children.
And the only thing we cut, so that's $200 billion positive. The only thing we cut was for fraud, waste, and abuse, of which there was a lot in this country, and nobody minds that. Yeah, please.
I mean, considering nobody on stage right now is qualified, I would say he is correct.
Mr. President, you said that there is no reason to give newborn babies hepatitis B vaccines. But hepatitis B can be contracted not just through sexually transmitted diseases, from needles to open wounds. So when you say you feel, is that appropriate to be telling?
I think it's absolutely appropriate. I think they should wait till they're 12 years old. Yes, please.
Mr. President,
Yep. According to Trump, 12 is, I guess, when you're supposed to start having sex. So that's really disgusting. But okay.
Being here, you've been talking about reducing autism by spacing out vaccines. Would you like other combined vaccines babies receive to be spaced out like MMRV?
What is this again?
You've been talking.
Speak up, please.
Sir. You've been talking about reducing autism by spacing out vaccines.
Right, correct.
Would you like the other combined vaccines babies receive to be spaced out like MMRV?
I would say yes, but that just is, for me, it's a lot of common sense involved in this. It's a process, but we're looking, but it should at least be given separately. Now, it's possible that you can reduce them and I'd give them in small doses, but it's possible maybe in that particular case, the MMR wouldn't work in small doses, but you can certainly give them as separate shots. It's been proven to be very safe when you give them in separate shots instead of mixing. So I don't think there's any reason to do that. Do you agree with it? I'm not a doctor, but I'm giving my opinion. I don't think there's any reason to do that. So it's been proven to be
Well, I just don't care about your opinion if you're not a doctor.
safe when you break them up. But MMR by itself, I've heard bad things about it for many years. Yes, please.
Is the spectrum too broad, in your opinion? For research purposes, you are dealing with a population of children who might have social boundary difficulties, and then you have children who are, going to grow up to be adults in diapers. I mean, what do you think?
We don't know how broad the spectrum is. We don't know exactly where it starts and where it ends, but we do know what we're going through. We're going through some very serious trouble, and we know autism. I mean, it could be
so
bigger, it could be smaller, a
dumb.
little bit smaller, but the number is unacceptable. And
he's just so stupid when you talk. When you listen to him talk, he's just a fucking idiot. So the question she was asking was like about the autism spectrum, and they were basically asking like, "Hey, do you think that the spectrum is so wide that it doesn't correctly classify the people that have autism?" Like, okay, that's a fair question. And Trump's like, "Oh, I don't know about that, but it's pretty big." It's like, okay, thanks, man. Thanks for not having any comprehension skills. It's amazing that we have a president that's a fucking moron.
And the number, the way it's come down, because the spectrums remain the same, the number, the way it's come down is just unacceptable. Meaning, come down to that level of 1 in 10, 1 in 12, 1 in 31.
He just didn't answer the question. He's stupid. He doesn't know what he's saying. He's just talking.
Go ahead in the back.
President, this question is more directed towards Secretary Kennedy. It was talked about that we're just kind of finding out about the fact that babies are affected this way. Is there a concern that information is being suppressed right now within HHS, and could an investigation perhaps be launched seeing any more?
Well, I think information has been really not given out very freely over the years, absolutely. And I think that's by drug companies and maybe doctors, but I certainly think that over the years. I think this is a different group. We have a lot of information. And that information, I mean, it's the
I do be loving information
that we have that we're making these statements. And I'm making them out front, and I'm making them loud, and I'm making them strongly not to take Tylenol, not to take it. Just don't take it unless it's absolutely necessary. And there's not too many cases where that will be the case. And again, what's the worst? The worst is
I don't think I could ever be on like a cabinet. They've been just standing there for over an hour. It's just fucking boring as hell.
Nothing can happen. It's very positive. That's a positive thing. But I don't believe I don't actually believe that's possible. I think the results are going to be amazing. I want to see amazing results by the time I leave this beautiful building. And I will consider this, I believe, with the wars, I've stopped 7 different wars. I've saved millions of lives. I've done a lot of things. This will be as important as any
What wars he stopped? What?
single thing I've done, because I know ladies, beautiful ladies just like this that are going through the same thing. And it's not easy. And I admire you for being able to do it. But I admire him too. I wish I had a face that looked like that. If I looked like him, I would have been president a long time ago.
widely used in other countries too. As you make this announcement, do you expect your decision may affect
I
other
hope they
countries?
follow it, yeah. I hope they follow it, yeah.
They're not going to.
The countries are, sell Tylenol. Some countries don't.
I heard that Donald Trump stopped the Great Bed Wars. I don't know.
I mean, I hear Cuba, now, again, you'll have to check this out, but I hear Cuba doesn't have it because it's very expensive. And they don't have the money to have it, or they don't want to spend the money to have it. They don't have Tylenol. And I hear they have essentially no autism. So
yeah, that's not true, but okay.
You have to check it out.
Yeah, check it out.
Brian,
Medical professionals have warned for decades.
No, not you. You're CNN. You're fake news. Go ahead, Brian.
Thank you, Mr. President. I want to go back
Ooh, Donald Trump is afraid of CNN, dude. He's a fucking pussy.
Amish community, if I can just for a second. I recently saw a man from Minnesota, an Amish man from Minnesota, on a podcast, and the host asked him what the rates were for like ADHD and autism, and he had no idea about ADHD, didn't know that it existed, and certainly didn't know of any cases. What are they doing?
It doesn't exist with the Amish community, and they don't take all of this junk. It doesn't exist. That tells you, doesn't that tell you? That's like, that's like certain countries where it doesn't exist and they don't take it. Would you like to make a comment about that, Mark?
What? Okay. They don't really see real doctors in Amish communities. And they build everything by hand perfectly. So I'm pretty sure they have autism, all of them. But okay.
The Amish population is a very mixed group, so there's a subset that take vaccines and a subset that does not. And we know they have very low rates of chronic disease all across the board.
But they do take vaccines? Now I'm confused. Some of them take vaccines? They don't go to doctors. You don't know what they have. They don't fucking go to real doctors. What?
Please. Thank you, Mr. President. Should the establishment media show at least some openness to, trying to figure out what the causes of autism are?
I wish they would, yeah.
And why are they so close-minded?
Well, look, it's not only the media, in all fairness, it's some people. When you talk about vaccines, they go crazy. And,
mostly your people on your side.
I'm a big supporter of vaccines. I got a certain vaccine approved in 9 months that would have taken from 5 to 12 years. I'm very proud of it. A lot of people think it was one of the greatest things I've done, and some people think...
No, most people think it's horrible, actually. Pretty much every single conservative hates the vaccine, or every MAGA conservative hates the COVID vaccine. That's what he's referring to, but okay.
Mostly Republicans, actually. I'll tell you, the Democrats think they think Operation Warp Speed was one of the greatest things any president has done, any president. It's, we're very proud of what happened. We got hit with something that came from a place that shouldn't have happened.
Sorry, who's saying this? Who's the Democrats saying that it was good, or the Republicans? What is he saying?
Happened, but it did happen. Those things take place, and you're very unpleasantly surprised. But no, I'm a big believer in vaccines. The polio vaccine, big believer in vaccines. Okay. I know Bobby and you guys have it out a little bit, but he's a believer in vaccines too. But I've seen how great vaccines can be, how incredible they can be. So I'm a believer. Yeah.
I love that. I love Shrek. I'm a believer.
Yeah, please.
You're commenting about MMR and hepatitis B, and you said those were your suggestions. But have you spoken with Secretary Kennedy about actually making those changes?
I have. I've spoken to all the doctors about it, and doctors that are not here right now. I've spoken to many doctors about everything we're talking about. And, the Tylenol has started to be spoken of over the last period of time, but we've been doing the research. A lot of what they've been speaking about comes from right here by research done by these people. And I just say it again, don't take Tylenol. Don't take it. And don't give it to your child after your child is born. And do all those other things, little things, just spread out your visits, et cetera, on the vaccine. And I want to thank everybody. This is a very important day. Thank you very much.
Wow, what a crazy time we're living in.
What do you mean with the Democratic leader, sir?
Okay. Great stuff. Cool.